Good morning, horse players, and welcome to the road to the NHC. Let's get to work and take another step towards Las Vegas, Nevada, and the NHC National Horse Players Championship. We're breaking down races at Gulfstream Park, Tampa Bay Downs for the feeder. It's $18 to join the feeder, and it's not just about picking winners. It's about finding the best value, and we're going to help you find that best value. Of course, my partner, as always, is 2022 NHC champ David Harrison. David, I found the cards kind of chalky, actually.
That's funny because I have like three 40-to-1 shots that I like today.
Wow.
So it's
Okay.
different strokes for different folks, I guess. Only kidding, but yeah, there's a few races. I found one race to be very, very difficult. Other than that, I agree with you. It looks somewhat formful. I don't think we're going to have all chalk, but you may have a few horses that are going to be really tough to beat. But before we go there, good morning, everybody. I think it's appropriate now, since we turned the calendar to February, to begin the countdown. What do you think? Officially, to me, I can start doing the countdown once it's within 45 days of the NHC. So it's 35 days and counting to day one of the NHC, 34 and counting to day one, or the only day of the first chance, last chance. So, and the tour ends on February 23rd. So if you want to accumulate tour points, you have a few more weeks. But the contests still go, I think, to the first week of March. So, you still have time, but get the thinking cap on and make sure you're in these contests if you want to have a last shot to qualify. I hope to see as many people there as possible. So.
Absolutely. We've had a few people. I want to say 6 or 7 people qualify for the NHC since we started this. And in case you're new and you haven't seen this show before, we are breaking down races for you in a feeder. It's $18 to get into the feeder over at horseplayers.com. And there's 6 races. You have to pick the winner and an alternate in case your favorite or your top pick gets disqualified or scratched. Not disqualified, but scratched. And then if your alternate also gets scratched, then you'll go to the betting favorite, is how that works. Why do the feeder? Well, the feeder will save you money. Today, if you want to get into the qualifier, that's $75. And so the 20% of the people that get in the feeder, the top 20% actually get to the qualifier. And then if you get in the top 2 or 3, depending on how many people are in the qualifier, then you come to Las Vegas, Nevada, and come visit us and have a blast of your life, the time of your life for sure.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it as the days approach. I start doing more prep work for my NHC strategy, and it's tough to do all the prep work, until you can see the overnight. So that Sunday before, I'll be keep refreshing my computer screen to get the overnights for as many tracks as possible. And as soon as they get released for Thursday for the first chance, last chance, I'll be whizzing through those races, watching replays. But before that, I usually take about a week to 10-day break. Just to go in fresh, because the worst thing, I do not want any tough beats a couple of days before the NHC. Like if that Sunday you had a disqualification DQ on a pick 6 that would pay you $20,000 and you're sick, and you can't get that out of head, that's not a good thing going into the NHC. So I prefer not to play a week or so, just to go in totally fresh.
You're absolutely right, David. And we're going to do a show. David and I are going to do a show here, maybe in 3 weeks or so, 4 weeks at the most. And we're going to do a show helping you. So if you're first time qualified, or you just want to understand how the NHC champ and I will prepare for the NHC in March, we'll help you with that. And there's a lot of great information. David and I met for lunch the other day. And wow, even I was learning stuff from David. There's so much to learn and how to be prepared, especially if it's your first time. Things can move pretty fast. So if you want to join us for that, that'll be coming in about 3 or 4 weeks from now. But hopefully you can hang with us today and join us in the show, get in the chat room. What's up, John, Joe,
hey, John.
Kent, and Mike? There's Wiz. And hopefully last week, we had a great show last week. We had so many people, the EquinEdge community that was involved in the show. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, no, the show was a blast last week. Actually, most weeks it's a blast. So, and the more participants, the better off the show goes. So, feel free to chime in with your comments, and even if they're negative, let's hit them out. Let's go.
All right, so we're gonna start at Tampa Bay race number 1, but first we're gonna show you this tab here, and here are the races. So we're gonna start with Tampa Bay Downs race number 1. This is the feeder, and then Gulfstream Park race number 1 is next. Then Tampa Bay race number 2, and then it just switches. You can see it, and it goes from Tampa Bay to Gulfstream Park, and back and forth until the first 3 races of each of those are done, and that will be the feeder. Again, the top 20% get to the qualifier, which is $75. So save yourself a little bit of money, and we're going to help you with some strategy. It's a little bit different. David, do you feel like the feeder strategy is different than what the qualifier strategy is?
Yeah, somewhat. Only because of the fact that you only have 6 races, right? So it's more valuable. It's more costly to you as a player if you miss a race and it was a $5 horse, 5 win and three places $8. It may be the difference. So with the less races, it's the more important strategy is to pick winners. And if you see a chalky race and you can't get by it, do what you have to do. And I found that the more races, 10 races, you're more likely to get just the percentages. You're more likely to get a cap horse or value horse in those 10. And then on the weekends, 12 or sometimes 15 races, that's when you usually reach out for long shots, because out of a sampling of size of 15 races, it's a decent shot. You're going to get a cap horse or 2 in that, but in a 6-horse field, especially a lot of the fields are smaller. So yeah, my strategy would be just pick winners for the feeders.
All right, let's run this race, Tampa Bay race number 1. And the 2 horses should have a pretty easy lead. Last time out, the 6-horse Iconic Rock came out of this same race and actually had the lead. But for whatever reason, the race simulator is saying that the 2-horse will have the lead. And I like the 2 better than the 6. The 2-horse Eternal Glory actually rated last time out and beat the 6 heads up. I watched the video of it. So the 6 is getting bet. Maybe people think it's going to go gate to wire. I don't think so. I don't think it's going to get the same trip. I think the 2 is going to get a better trip on the lead, saving ground from the inside. And so here's a look at Kathleen O'Connell, and you can see this horse broke from the 7 hole, but there's more horses here this time, and the 2 horses going to get a nice trip from the inside. The 2 horse actually had a slight lead, but it was the 6 horse that rated, excuse me. But the 2 horse really had it easy, and I think the 2 horse is going to be tough to beat on the lead. But I think I'm leaning towards the 8 horse, Johnny from Boston, and I really think this horse is going to run a good race. It's second off the layoff, and I found this horse to be one-paced. So the horse probably needed that race last time out. They found a race at this level. They thought, well, the horse is probably doing good, so let's put it at a level where it can win. But it was really one-paced, and then it checked up a couple of times. It didn't have the best trip, and I think this horse can run a good race here today.
Okay, so I'm getting the impression, Scotty, that you're going to select Johnny from Boston as your top pick in this race, correct?
I am.
Okay, well, I'm going in a similar fashion. I don't really want any part of either the 2 Eternal Glory or the 6 Iconic Rock, only because these horses certainly have had their chances. Iconic Rock, the 6 horses, 0 for 17. Good trainer, Kathleen O'Connell. Eternal Glory is 0 for 10. Yeah, so it's combined. You've got 2 horses here. There are 0 for 27. So in cases like this, in these maiden, there's a maiden 10,000, and they're stretching out a mile and 40 yards. I'm looking for somebody with less starts. Now, Johnny from Boston's got 9 starts, but in his defense, this gelding was off a layoff, and that was the first race off that layoff, 7 furlongs at this maiden level. But don't forget about the 7. He comes out of the same race as Johnny from Boston, and off at a layoff, coming from Churchill Downs, where he went 2 turns, tried 2 turns, didn't lift a hoof. And I think for both of these horses, Scotty, that 7 furlong efforts for both of them. They look like prep races to me. So I
Mhm.
think either one of them stretching out here, has a chance. Rating off the pace, I think the 2 and the 6 can, battle themselves into submission here possibly. So the 7 puts blinkers on, right on target, and I think I'm going to give this horse a shot in the contest. So second start off the layoff, stretching out, blinkers on. Should get the outside trip doesn't bother me here. It's the 7 post is not too wide. So yeah, give me the 7 right on target.
Okay.
Scotty,
I
that's my
just want
top pick.
to let you guys know that we've had a few site issues. So refresh your screen periodically. You should do that anyways periodically to see if there's any updates to the site. And with the scratches of 11 and 12, there were some updates, and I just had to refresh it to get the system to update. So it actually took the 2 out of there, which is really interesting. The 5 Admiral Curl is a horse that's got a good win percentage, is 9-2 right now. It's off the layoff. It's dropping in class. Maybe we shouldn't be ignoring this horse.
Yeah, this horse does take a drop in class from, even though it was at maiden 16 in early this year, but comes off a layoff. It stretched out on the Tapeta to 1.70 miles, and now ships up to Tampa here. Yeah, I mean, on its best day, it may have shown a little life early in that 2-turn start, but that's a long layoff. So I'm willing to give this horse a start before I decide to jump on board. So
Look at the GSR though. I mean, if you look at
yeah.
the GSR plus grid, David, this horse wants dirt and long. It's not even close. This horse has been running. I know it's had a couple of layoff lines, no doubt about it, but it broke 10th in its first start from the rail, and even in the stretch, it was only 10 lengths back. And throw that out. Then it went on the turf. It has no turf breeding whatsoever. It dropped in class here and showed a respectable effort, but this is a huge drop. 29 points in increase in GSR is massive. And I could consider the 5 horse for sure, actually. And then the 9 horse Kukui, here's a horse that Kathleen O'Connell takes over for, and it was racing against better horses as well. I think my only concern with this horse is it's not the best breaker, but you know what happens sometimes when horses stretch out, they don't have as much pressure to break on top. And Kathleen has been on fire, and the horse is 8-1 on the EE morning line. So the EquinEdge long shot's been absolutely on fire.
It has been killing it.
Yeah.
Yeah. The 9 horse, I'll always look at, anytime I see the Scotty long shot, I always take a look at the horse. This horse doesn't look like it can run. That's the only problem. So my system's picking up something that we're not picking up. But again, trying the dirt now, but no race here. This horse doesn't have one race out of the 9 that, in my opinion, would make it competitive here. And did go off at 124-1 last time out in the maiden 12-5.
Yeah.
So maybe a little tough to
All right, I'm going to change up with the 5 horse because I'm getting a little bit better odds than I'm getting on the 8. Okay. And I like your case on the 7 horse as well. I can see that. So the 5 horse Admiral Curl, I can't ignore that 29-point increase in GSR. I just can't do it. Layoff or not, it's dropping from a 38 SOR down to a 28 SOR. Here against a 30 SOR with a 49 GSR, didn't run bad, and that was on the turf. It's getting on dirt where it wants to be, and so I'm going to take a chance with the 5 Admiral Curl. It's getting some sneaky money as well.
Okay, I'm going to lock you in, Scotty. Admiral Curl with Mr. Ferrer on board. Okay, and I'm on the 7, right on target. If I was making a secondary ticket, which I don't usually in the feeders, I think I would probably go with the 8, Johnny from Boston. I think I want somebody out of that last prep race those 2 were in. So 7 primary, with the 8 would be my secondary.
All right, let's get to Tampa Bay race number 2.
Tampa Bay race number 2, 7 furlongs, maiden, $25,000 claimer.
What is Wiz saying?
How about JA 17 MVP? Oh, Josh Allen 17 MVP. Their Wiz is going with Mike Saletta, who's a Buffalo Bills fan. My condolences, Mike. Their elimination a couple of weeks ago, but yeah, Super Bowl reference.
Got it. Race number 2. I thought it was a 2-horse race between the 1 horse Mr. Sweets. I watched that video of that race. It got squeezed at the start, and they're not messing around. Like it was only 9% to win, but the horse, believe it or not, was actually finishing. And there were some really nice horses in that maiden special weight. Brad Cox had a freaking big time first time starter in that race, and that was just too tough of a field. Drops in. This horse is very, very live. It has way more speed than what it's showing. It's dropping huge in class, major player. And then the other interesting one for Darian Rodriguez is that this horse has been training really good even from the beginning. 26 of 118, 29 of 147, and it's the top pick, and it's got a big win percentage as well. I think it's a 2-horse race.
I am in agreement. I believe it's a 2-horse race, but not the same 2 horses that you. I do agree with you on number 1, Mr. Sweets. That race, this horse was eliminated at the start, squeeze start, and this did look to be a rather salty field. But with that being said, I don't trust this horse at 9 to 5. Usually these young horses in their second start, if they had trouble the first start out, who knows if they have trouble the second time out. And the rail post at 7 is not that, it's a kind of a tricky post in my opinion. But in Wings of God's the first time starter that's live here. But Scotty, if you do me a favor, I had interest in the 7 Lucky Twist, the Mike Denis first timer. I'd like the workout pattern a lot. And I think that's the other contender here. I think this horse could run a good race. You just check out Mike. I don't have one screen here, so I'm a little shorthanded here today. But if you check out his numbers with first timers, I know they're probably like 5 or 6% for Mike.
6%.
6%. Okay. Yeah. With that being said, I don't think, I'll give a shot sometimes because I've seen trainers, low percentage trainers, just have good horses, and it doesn't really matter if you have the horse. I just like this horse's workout pattern. So I'm going to take a shot in the dark here with the 7 Lucky Twist. And I think if you had a second ticket, you absolutely have to use number 1, Mr. Sweets. But so it's 7 Lucky Twist primary. Then number 1, Mr. Sweets for my secondary pick.
All right. Interesting.
It just seems, Scotty, as I'm handicapping the races today, maybe 7 is the lucky number for me because it seems like I'm picking horses. I'm like, there's another 7 horse. What's going on here? So
well, the workouts are very nice on this horse.
Yeah, I like the pattern.
For a maiden claimer, 15 out of 112, 49 out of 104. I mean, these are super fast workouts. So you might be onto something here. It might not even be worth taking the 1 horse and the 5 horse. And in the 5 horse, and my note on this horse, personal note on the 5 horse was nobody's giving anything away. And the fact that this horse is even in for a claiming price, considering really how fast it's working, is interesting. We'll see. I mean, the one did get squeezed, but it was kind of after the start. Like I thought the 1 horse maybe was a little bit slow to break. It did get squeezed afterwards, but I am a little bit worried about that. I mean, no doubt about it, this horse can run, and it was way better than that. And it faced a really tough field. Like that was a field, that was a first-time starter group or a maiden special weight group that would be in South Florida, right? So that's how that was a really good field. But God, the workouts on the 7, I mean, you might really be onto something here. I might tail you. Is that okay?
That's okay. You can do whatever. Yep. If you want to come over to my side of the equation, that is fine.
I think I'm going to take a chance with you, and then plus you got the outside post. I mean, why not? Like if the 1 and 5 are going to go off as big favorites, so who cares?
Yeah. Right, you're getting it. You get at least it's going to be the 3rd or 4th prize probably in the race, and you'll get an idea. Obviously, it's pick and pray, but you'll get an idea when they open the wagering for that second race. Because if the horse is dead on the board, maybe it's not a runner. But if the horse opens at 3 to 1 or 5, 7 to 2, maybe we got something here.
All right, I'm going with the 7, and yeah, we're both on the 1 for second, and then the 5's the anomaly. I mean, obviously, who knows what the 5's going to do. What do you make of the EquinEdge long shot? I was kind of surprised that it didn't take a horse like the 7 horse. It took the 6. Usually the EquinEdge long shot algorithm will pick up really good first time starters.
Right, and I did look at this horse. I have a circle around it here in my notes, and I just wasn't. too enthused about this horse. On the cutback in the last race from 1.40 miles to 6 furlongs, didn't run a bad race, kind of an even fourth, and had a couple of excuses in some of its races with rough starts. Is a contender, but it didn't. I figured because we have some horses like that who've got some form here that's a little iffy, this may be the time to go to the first-time starter.
And the 4-horse, I mean, it's got a 4-1 EE morning line for Kathleen O'Connell, and she's first time with this horse, and she got the horse ran over at Turfway Park for 15,000 last time out, broke from the 10 hole, showed some speed before fading late, but that was off of a couple month layoff. But now Kathleen puts the horse in for 25,000, and the horse gets on the dirt where they went 6 furlongs at Keeneland, but then it was a similar group. I don't know. Are you interested in the horse at all?
The 4 Mr. Baby, Kathleen O'Connell's horse. Yeah, I took a look. You know, you could make an excuse for that last race. That the horse just might have hated the synthetic at Turfway, but that's a low claiming level, 15. If you look at the 30 claimer at Keeneland, ran kind of an even fourth, but puts blinkers on today, LASIKs on. Yeah, I've seen more. I've seen reversals like this, many times, but I mean, it's not a total throwout. If you told me you're using this horse, I wouldn't talk you out of it.
All right, so the 4 Mr. Baby as well. This, I'm thrown off a little bit by the EquinEdge long shot choosing the 6 horse, but instead of the 7 or the 3, or it could have even chosen the 4 horse, but it didn't. Interesting. I don't like the 6 horse on paper. I couldn't use a horse like that no matter what. Right. But it is interesting. Jockey trainer combination is 22% in 9 samples. All right, let's go to race number 3. We have 31 minutes before the first of the 6 races takes off. There's the 2-horse Country Economics, and this horse is going to have an easy lead, but it's burned a lot of money and it's stopped, and it's been big win percentages. So I'm trying to beat this horse with the 7 Starview Twinkle, who is the EquinEdge second pick. And I really, really like this 8 horse, actually. I think this horse is going to be just flying late, and I think the 2 is going to be breathing fire like it always does. And I think Starview Twinkle actually wins this race going away.
Actually, that's one of the horses I had circled here, Scotty. I won no part of any horse who was 0 for 25. That's Country Economics, the 2 horse. I just can't go there. You've had so many chances here, and most of this horse's her starts have been sprints, less than 7 furlongs. Now she's stretching out to 7. I don't, she runs pretty decently, 2 seconds in the last 2 races. But this looks like the type of filly that is likely to finish 2nd or 3rd that I don't want any part of. Because win is the game here. And Starview Trouble, 3rd race off a layoff. Chased kind of a slow pace, in my opinion, last time out, moving up to 25, now drops back to 16. Yeah, this horse is live. However, did lose twice to the 2 horse, but I think, more lightly raced, may benefit with those 2 races under her belt. But, also, I just wanted to mention this horse who I ultimately landed on here. I'm trying to be a wise guy because I thought there's a spotty form here. I don't like the 2 Eric Reed horses shipping in from is it Mahoney? Yeah. So Reed's got 2 horses. I threw them out, and I'm started to look at the 6 horse a little bit, Scotty. And this is N. Riley. We got blinkers on here. This horse has been all over the place. This horse started a career over in Ireland, then shipped over to Delmar on the turf. You got some turf breeding there to no avail. Has a couple of layoff lines. Went to Kentucky Downs in September, didn't lift a hoof there. Now, don't keep in mind, these are maiden special weights, so much higher. It's got to be a higher SOR group here. There's a 36. Just look at who she's been racing against. And then went to Presque Isle Downs on synthetic and showed a little life that day. Took an early lead as the favorite before, kind of stopping. Another layoff. was trained previously by Phil D'Amato, and then Graham Motion. So you got a jockey, you got a trainer switch, and came back and made in 16 is probably where this horse belongs. But this is turf. So this horse is turf and synthetic. So dirt is a new experience for this horse, but that's why you get a price. So to me, it's all about risk reward. Spotty form, I think you definitely have to use the 8, and I agree with Scotty. Starview Twinkle should be tough, but I think this 6 may run a good race here. So I'm willing to reach out. First time on the dirt. And again, people will say, well, why? How are you possibly playing a horse that's never tried the dirt before? I'm like, well, it's all about risk reward. I would never play that horse as the favorite. But if you tell me you want to give me 10 or 12 to 1, I'll take a shot with it. So give me the 6 and a Riley, and the 8 as a strong backup. So primary is the 6, and the secondary pick would be the 8 Starview Twinkle.
So I
You're
absolutely hate this horse today. Absolutely hate it. And let me give you the reason why. First of all, look, bore out, hard to ride, pulled, rank. It needs the lead, and it's not even close to as fast as the 2 horse is, even with the blinkers. They're adding blinkers because they're trying to get this horse to wake up, but the 2's just too fast. Now, if the 6 clears early, maybe, but it's going to most likely be behind the 6 horse, and its head's going to be up, and it's going to be rank as hell. Not for my money. Yeah.
Well, Scotty, the only thing I would ask you to take a look at here, or players who are looking at it say, okay, well, I don't like the horse either. Just keep in mind too that what I picked up, the horse, the 6 had the 10 post last time out. So with speed, the only alternative here, the only option was to rush up. So maybe that outside post, the rushing up kind of off that layoff might have killed the horse. And second time back, and better post, not as wide, and maybe just stalking a little bit off the 2 and taking the lead. So yeah, it's a stretch. I agree with you, but I think this horse may be a little sneaky here, so I'm willing to take the risk here on the 6.
All right, David's on the 6 horse. So, by the way, it does drop in GSR pretty good. If you look at the tabs for dirt and turf, this horse does look like a turf horse, Irish bred, 4-year-old filly. So I'm going to pass on the 6 horse. I'm on the 8 horse. I actually like the 8 a lot. I really like this 8. In fact, I think the extra distance as well is going to be good. Third race off the layoff. And I expect the 8 horse Starview Twinkle to run a big race today.
And I'm boxing an 8-6 exacta. I agree with you.
Okay, so we're finished through the Tampa Bay races. Let's go to Gulfstream Park, race number 1. And so I watched the. Hey, what's up, Steven? We haven't seen Steven in a while. It's always good to see you. It's been too long. One of the original of the EE community.
Oh, welcome, Steven. Glad to have you back.
Coach Garen. Okay. I listen, all things being equal, the 7 horse Lamcaro might be in front of the 6 horse Sticky McShiggins, but they raced against each other last time out, and Sticky McShiggins actually can rate. And there's a lot of speed in here, equal speed. And I see the 6 horse sitting 2 lengths back, maybe a length back. The only hesitation I had on this horse, otherwise it would have been a best bet for me of the day, is that the 7 is on the outside of the 6. So I'm hoping the jockey just lets that horse go. Dylan Davis, he's going to give this horse a good ride. Second off, the second time he's been aboard, he was aboard last time out. Like, I really like this horse. I'm 100% without any kind of waiver. I'm going with the 6. How about you?
Okay. Well, we see it a little differently, Scotty, I think. Because I love a horse in here too, and it's not Sticky McShickens. It's I love. There's 2 horses I like, and I think this. It's 5 furlongs. I'm tired of being wired, and I'm not going to let it happen today. So many times I'll say, "Oh, it's going to be a pastel," and it doesn't result in a pastel. You'll have 4 or 5 speed horses. The speed of the speed gets out by 2 lengths, and no one catches him, and the other speed dies. With that being said, I'm hoping my horse that I landed on here gets off to a clean break this time, and that's the 5 Lean Music Machine for Brian Lynch. His barn is hot. This horse is 3rd off the layoff, 3rd turf sprint, and each of the last 2 had a troubled start. Now, does that worry me? Absolutely, because if this horse gets off to another trouble start today, game over. But I think that maybe this horse has learned something. Hopefully, it had an education, and maybe it'll be a better breaker today. Isaiah stays with this horse. This is McLean's Music, who I love sprinting on the turf. I just think this horse gets out and could wire the field. The only concern I have is the one horse here with Paco picking up the mount, because he's a more aggressive rider. He's going to gun if he's got the ability. And this horse also got off to 3 bump starts. So I think if one of them gets off to a lead, either one is very dangerous to wire the field. So I'm going to take the 5 here, Scotty. Lean Music Machine with Zayas on. And my second pick would be Tenabar, who I'm really scared of if Paco guns his horse out and gets an early lead. So give me the 5 over the 1.
Okay. David's on the 5 horse. Alfredo Alfonso.
Hello, Alfredo.
He's over there doing a great job over at Hippica, over at Gulfstream Park, and he does a great job. And he does videos as well that you should go watch. Follow him on Hippica, Video Hippica on Twitter, and he does videos almost every morning in Spanish and in English. I think this race is, on paper, you could get a horse that gets an easy lead. I agree with you. The one horse, you got Paco, and anytime you got Paco, this horse can be dangerous if he was to clear. There's not a ton of speed in this race, so maybe one of them has more speed than we're seeing. I saw the race. I saw Lean Music Machine face Sticky McSniggins, and the trouble line says the horse was 6 wide. The horse wasn't 6 wide, so I don't know. I thought the 6 horse Sticky McSniggins was much better than the 5 last time out. But look, if you look at the race simulator, it's got the 5, 6, and 7 like right next to each other, so it likes that race. But these horses aren't too far back. The 1, 2, and 3. I thought you could make a case for Eastern Extension as well.
Yeah, the only thing I saw without maybe a little cheap here at the 35 claiming level, 32 claiming level, 35 at Gulfstream. The other horses in the race. Well, actually, I should say that Sticky McShickens has been in 50,000 claimers and 35. So
yeah,
okay.
This is not a strong group. Now I recognize this horse is in a 35,000 maiden claimer last time now, but that also was on the synthetic. So and it ran really good first time for Kathleen O'Connell. Whereas, prior it was running really, really good. Look what it did in its first lifetime start against maiden special weights. This is a $94,000 purse, though. This is not the strongest maiden group at all.
Right. And if you look at it too, Kathleen O'Connell claimed this horse. Irad picks up the mount. First time off the claim, good solid second. But I don't think this horse will have the lead, so that's why I faded a little bit. I want somebody who's going to gun. But, anytime Wiz brings up a horse, I want to take a second look at. So,
here's what I will say,
though.
Yep. Here's what I will say about this. Kathleen O'Connell, as you know, is my trainer. And, we talk a lot of times, in order to get, if you want to get Irad to ride your horse, you better have a horse that you like. She's not putting Irad on a horse that she doesn't like. That's for sure. Mm-hmm. Right. So I'm guessing this horse is live. It must be live.
Okay. Definitely.
I'm like, go get Irad to ride my horse to the sky. There's everybody wants to get Irad on their horse. Right.
Right.
So it's interesting anyways. And that with the 2 Eastern Extension and Kathleen O'Connell, the horse obviously improved first time for her.
Right. And also, if you want to make a case for the 2, a stronger case, Irad goes off the 1 Tenabar to ride for Kathleen O'Connell, but it may be a case of trainer change with the 1 because the 1 was
Irad rode this horse last time. So
what I'm saying, he had he rode both horses last time, the 1 and the 2, so he chooses the 2 over
Correct.
The 1, right?
Correct.
But it may be a case that the last time was trained by Belmont, and now you have Kelly Breen. I don't think I've seen many Kelly Breen horses. Irad picking up a mount for Kelly, but I may be wrong.
This was thank you for that, Chris, by the way. And this horse was protected in this race, in this
Okay,
maiden
thanks,
winning
Chris.
race. Yeah, appreciate that.
The waiver, I saw that. Okay,
The
thanks for
waiver.
the
Yeah.
yep. I still don't love her, the horse, but definitely a contender. Thanks for pointing that out, gentlemen.
Yeah. And the fact that he rode this horse last time, and the horse ran so good, maybe he's like, I'll give this horse another chance. That's a possibility.
Sure.
I'm going to stick with the 6 horse, 2-1 right now, 9-5 on the E morning line, 33% to win. Hey, Oldie. How are
Hey,
you?
Oldie. How's it going, my friend?
So I'm sticking with the 6. You're on the 5 horse, Lean Music Machine. I think that the 5 has to clear to win this race. The 1 will have to clear to win this race, most likely. The 7 will probably have to clear as well, and it has burned a lot of money. You can see that, Lamb Caro. And the 6 horse is the one that can be tactical and then sit. So I think that this horse is very, very live. I'm going to be watching Dylan Davis all day today. I'm a big fan of Dylan's.
Dylan is my guy. You're giving my NHC secret away. I think about, especially Silver Sunday last year. I think 30% of my winners were with Dylan Davis aboard in New York on that Sunday. So yeah, Dylan's riding in rare form.
Oldie has a question for you.
Are we still placing bets, David? See our bet from last week? Oh, yeah. No, I'm not doing that ever again because Oldie and I had this thing going with Ferocious in the Holy Bull. I did say, thanks for bringing that up, wise guy.
Of course he's going to bring that up.
Yeah, I'm supposed to, I said that Ferocious, first of all, I didn't like Ferocious to win the race. Let's get that out there. But I thought he was a lock to hit the board. I will admit that, a second or third, just in a prep race. And I did state that if Ferocious didn't hit the board, I would quit gambling. So I did that. I quit gambling for a day. I have 2 days this week, Monday and Tuesday.
Oh, you weren't specific as to how long you
exactly.
Okay,
and the card, right. And also, in my defense, I did pick Burnham Square as my top pick in that race. And I was wrong. I needed Ferocious to hit the triple to make me a major score. But yep. And I did also with that, in conjunction with Ferocious, there was a horse in the last race, and refresh my memory, it was the Philly race at Gulfstream. Oldie, refresh my memory. The horse who I did not like at all, did that horse hit the boards, Oldie? Queen's MG. And where did Queen's MG finish, Oldie? Didn't win, but ran a better race than I thought. Yes. So
yeah, Oldie brought it up last night.
Yeah,
see, he brought it up in our meeting. He's just, he's really
finished just barely on the board, right?
Yeah, no, I think he asked Anna to send an email blast out as well, letting everybody know too.
Okay, all right. Well, you got me, Oldie. I was totally wrong on Ferocious, and in retrospect, after watching that race, I'd give that horse another race, but I don't know if that is a 2-turn horse, Ferocious.
All right, we got 15 minutes before the race number 1 at Tampa that opens up our feeder. Okay, we've got two more to cover. I like Remerton, who I think is going to be your big favorite. Didn't run a bad race last time out, was second best, but goes up 10 points in win percentage. GSR stays the same. And second time for new trainer Scott Acker. And Tyler Gaffaleone re-rides. So I think that's all positive.
Okay, that you like the 4 Remerton, who back at the same level after the claim, and this is a 17-5, 9 wins to 3 lifetime on the Tapeta, going 2 turns. I almost just didn't even handicap this race, Scotty, because sometimes these hunch plays, it's like the universe is sending you a signal. So I was on Los Alamos Boulevard yesterday evening with a buddy of mine, old friend of mine who came down to visit me in Florida, high school buddy. And I had bought a form earlier in the day, and he was kind of tied up, and I was waiting for him. So I was at the bar. I opened my racing form, and I look at the racing page, the entries, the overnights, and I look, and who's in the second race? It's Los Alamos, and I'm like, that's it. I'm sitting on Los Alamos Boulevard.
It's Las Olas.
Los Alamos. Okay.
No. Las Olas, like
Las
oh.
Olas.
There you go.
Okay, you know, a New Yorker like me is just always have a problem with anything that's anything close to Latin. But but I decided not to go with the hunch play. You know, I'm trying to make a case here. I think Remerton is definitely a contender. I think the 5 is a contender. But from Coromanos, you know, Horatio Coromanos hasn't been running. You know, I loved him in a horse yesterday. He finished second. He's a 6% jockey. He tends to hit the board, but I can't use him in this race. I'm trying to make a case for one of my other least favorite jockeys, and I'm the furthest one to criticize a jockey. But I'm going to the one here, Jerry's Turn. I mean, again, this is usually not my profile of a horse. This damn horse is 2 for 41 lifetime. I would never play a horse like this. But with 9 seconds,
don't ever say never.
Okay, right. Normally, it's very rare that I play a horse like this. But you know, this horse, you know, he doesn't. The last couple races, a 5th, a solid 3rd. At 61 to 1, he's only 2 lengths off the lead at the end. Then he goes down to 15 to 1, a $25,000 claimer. From an outside post, he finishes an even 5th. You know, maybe this horse is waking up a bit. I don't know. I just thought there was spotty form in here, and I can't resist a little bit of a price. He's only 4 to 1 morning line, and drops down to the lowest level I've seen him in a while, 17.5. So maybe with the class drop,
level. That's true. I mean, it's going from a 60 SOR down to 50. So that's a big drop. Win percentage goes up.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and look, I don't know if the jockey's gonna. I don't know if Luca's going to be, if he knows that this horse is this fast. I mean, hopefully he knows, because if he does, I will say this: give this horse 20 points more if Luca goes straight to the lead. Like, I mean, but will he do it? I don't know.
Right, and a race that I don't see, you know, maybe lacking a little bit in pace here. If Luca guns out, you're right, from the rail post. Yeah, this horse might be best. I think his best race was 3 back when it tried to wire a field from the 5 post, and just it tired late. And the horse took money that day at 12 to 1. And you know, Tim Hills is a sneaky trainer. He hits with long shots at times, and just on a class drop alone. Yeah, in retrospect, I'll probably look at this race after the finish and go, what the hell am I playing a 2 for 41 horse? But sometimes you just get a gut feel, the quality of the field, and it's like, oh, I think you'll get more than 4 to 1. I think it's supposed to be at least into 2, maybe 5, 6 to 1. So give me Jerry's Turn.
Paco Lopez jumps on the 7 horse Secret Lover. Any love for this horse that's been off of a little bit of a layoff, and it doesn't seem to want synthetic. At least the GSR drops big time.
Yeah, never started on synthetic, so we don't know what we're getting here, but it does. This is another. Well, this horse drops back down in class, but without a try over the synthetic, I'm really not interested. I mean, if there was a prep race at even 5 furlongs before the stretch out on the Tapeta, I would be willing. But I'd like to give a horse a race over a particular surface for the first time. I know I'm contradicting myself with that pick at Tampa, that and Riley horse, but you know, you get a feel about the quality of the field, and when you reach out for some of these price horses. But I mean, definitely a contender, and could easily win this if it can handle the Tapeta, but we don't know. Is this horse gonna, you know, like the Tapeta or not? So we will find out at about 2:54 this afternoon.
All right. Well, I'm going to go with Remerton, I think. I considered going with Carrington. You brought this horse up a little bit, but my concern with this horse is, I mean, that was a pretty easy group last time out. So I don't know, but it ran good. Yeah, I mean, it won first time going a mile and 70 yards. Right. So last time out.
Right. And at least the one thing with the 5 is we know it likes the synthetic. It has a race over the track, and maybe this horse is just going to prove now. And Michael Matz, to me, is either obviously a turf trainer or a synthetic trainer. He doesn't have much luck on the dirt track normally. Sometimes in Delaware he'll make scores there, but he's basically a turf trainer. So and these Omaha beaches are very versatile. You know, I've seen him win on dirt, synthetic, and turf.
Yeah. And Remerton, you're not. Is there something about Remerton? Like on paper, it looks like the horse to be. There's something about this horse you don't like?
No, this horse is obviously a contender of those last two races, Scotty. And Tyler takes the mount again, Gaffleone. And in
Yeah.
that form, he's going to be right. This horse should be right there, right? But I'm looking for a little bit of a better price. And I mean, he was in for a cheaper tag for 12.5, and where Jerry's Turn, the one horse, has never been that low. So I think
Yeah.
maybe Jerry's Turn may have a little bit of a class edge here, and also should get the jump on Remerton if Luca's aggressive enough.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to stick with my guns with the 4-horse Remerton. So
Okay, I'm
gonna
locking
go
you
there.
in, Scotty McKeever, on the 4 Remerton. I am on the 1 Jerry's Turn, and my second pick would be the 5 Carrington.
Okay. Coach, we got one more race to cover here, and we'll try to get, if we can get it in. We'll try to get a pick 5 for you. Let's run this race.
All right, they scratch. So this race is the last of the feeders, and this is a maiden 12.5 claimer at a mile on the dirt, and they don't go lower than this. This is the 12.5 claimers, as far as claimers. They didn't go lower than this at Gulfstream. So we don't have any, and for full disclosure, the horse I really liked in here was Scratch, the 7. De La Callas. Did I pronounce that right, my friend?
Let's see here. The 7-horse. Oh, the one that's scratched?
Yeah, Scratch. So we don't even have to talk
De La
about
Calle.
The Kaye, okay, we don't pronounce. Oh, there you go. Okay, thank you for correcting me. So, in any case, I had put down 2 things here in this race with the 7 being scratched. The 2-horse is definitely a contender with Gaffleone for Barboza. Had a couple of these 2-turn starts here on the synthetic. Now goes to the dirt, and my big note here is no dirt. So. Yeah. I want to see how this horse does on the dirt. At morning line 2-1, it's really not my type of horse. And yeah, could it win? Absolutely. The thing I'm looking at is, what do you do with the 3 Right Karma? This horse was off like a 1.5 layoff from July 23 to January of 25. Yeah. Had run a decent race in the mud back in June of 23, but that's such a long time ago. And then with the in the comeback race, this horse broke slow, head turn, bump start as the favorite in a 10-horse field, and still closed ground. But when I did watch the replay of that race. And I think rather than making up a ton of ground, I think some of the horses on the front end were tiring. So it may look, that close may look a little better than on paper than it actually was on the racetrack. But with that being said, I think this is the logical horse. If it gets off to a good start, I'm not leaving a Safi Joseph horse out even as the favorite. So Scotty, I'm gonna bite the bullet and just fire away with Right Karma, the 3-horse. I think it's a solid play here, but I'm not. Obviously not 100% confidence in this horse.
So I have a note on the 2-horse High Prince, and that was faced a tougher field. This was a decent field for the level, and was wide on the turn. So and Gaffleone re-rides. Here's the thing, and you made the point, and I have the 3 down here, and I was going to choose the 3. Second off the layoff, and often horses like this get overbet. The horse broke slow, and it says that his head was turned at the start. I mean, that's obviously major. So from that perspective, and being off of a layoff for a 1.5 years, that was a pretty impressive effort. So many of these types of horses, though, end up losing, and the horse is going to be 3 to 5. And the 2-horse is a horse that has burned some money, but this is a horse I might go with, especially because of my note last time out. I might just take a chance on this horse. You might get 5 to 2 or 3 to 1 on the 2-horse, and it might be worth just taking. So I'm going to go with the 2-horse. I'm changing up and going with the 2.
Okay, so Scotty's on the 2. I'm on the 3, and really, to me, it looks like those are the 2 horses. But I landed on the 3 because of the 2 lack of dirt form.
All right, let's do a pick 5 for Coach Karen. All right, let's do. We'll do it for 120. What's up, Dave? Dave in the house.
Dave.
Look at the EquinEdge community is coming. My grid is 362. All right, David.
Okay.
Dave, what is your Twitter? Is it at Racing Downwind? You should. I think it is. You should follow. You should follow Dave. He's great.
Definitely follow Dave. I've
Yeah.
have followed him for probably over a year, and well worth following. He's a very good handicapper, obviously.
Okay.
Thanks for joining,
Yeah.
Dave.
You're on Twitter right now. Okay. Yeah, you should definitely follow Dave. He's solid. One of the top handicappers there is in the country. And we're going to see you over at the NHC, Dave.
I think Dave's
I
qualified.
think he's qualified, right? Does he have two? Does he have two entries or just one?
I'm not sure. 2, Dave, or 1?
Does Dave already have a table? He's got 2 entries as well. If Dave, if you don't have a table, let me just put the invite to you. You're more than welcome to sit with us. We'd love to have you.
Love to have you.
But people have their same people they sit with every year.
Yeah. And and I'm one of those, and I'm superstitious now because, I sat at table 11 in 2022, and when I went back, I'm like 2020. I've got to sit at table 11. Last year, I sat at table 11 for the Silver Sunday. So I'm superstitious. I'm never if I qualify. I'm lucky enough to qualify for the NHC on a yearly basis. Every year, you're going to see me at table 11, as long as Michelle Ravencraft lets me sit there still. So.
She will. I'm sure she will.
I'm sure she will. Yes.
Okay, who do we have to use in this race? You use the 5, I use the 6. We're using those.
I would use the 1 if you're playing a pick 5.
Okay, so why don't we throw the rest out? We'll throw the 7 out. I really like the 6 a lot. You really like the 5 a lot if it breaks good. And you guys are talking about the 1. Is there somebody else that do we have to have the IRAD horse in the 2?
I throw the 2 and the 7 out.
Okay, so that's what we're gonna do. All right. So leg number 2, you like you're going.
I just
with
want
the
Jerry's
1.
turn, and then I'm out if I lose. So then you can pick the other victims.
I don't think Las Olas. I saw it was one of our shows. He finished 3rd. He was just picking up pieces.
Yeah, it's a weak race, I think. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I don't like see him for the win.
I'd use the 4, your horse.
Yep. Did you see the 6 horse at all?
It's scary with this trainer, but first time gelding off the claim. It's a tough call for me, and but I would probably pass. Too many changes here.
All right, let's see if we can fit it in. Maybe we can't. We'll regenerate here. And okay, next leg. You've got the 3. I've got the 2. I don't think you need to go any deeper than that. Would you agree?
I totally agree.
Okay. And then the race number 4. We didn't do this one. The system. We'll just go with the system on that. Race number 5. Unless you have an opinion, but race number 5 is using the 9 and the 11. I didn't handicap this race, unfortunately.
Race number 4, Scotty.
Yeah.
Iron Sword's got to be that looks like a single to me.
Race number 4.
The 5's out.
5's out.
Okay, no, forget that single. So let's just go with the system.
Let's see here. Let's run to the finish, and I actually didn't like the 3. I did. You know what? I did look at this race. I did not like the 3. 4 could go gate to wire. The 1 horse I thought was a long shot. It's 10-1. I liked that. I didn't see the 2 horse winning.
How about the 6?
And
the second off the layoff.
Megadon.
Yep.
Second off the layoff. Okay, let's try the 6. All right. Let's add that. Okay.
And the 5th, you gotta give me the cheese, my friend.
What do we got?
I had that horse last time out. Cheese, the 2, Mark Cassie. Dylan Davis. Didn't like the distance last time out.
Okay.
Cuts back. I'm hoping, I would have preferred 7.5, but hoping a mile is his horse's capability, because pretty impressive in those 7.5. It was last year. The horse was a 2-year-old. First race off a layoff as a 3. Just didn't like the distance, and that was a salty, much tougher field. So I think I got to use the 2. So it's a 2 in there.
Okay.
I agree with you, Chris. Yep.
Throw in that too. Okay, so let's just take the top two EquinEdge picks.
That's going to be $84. No.
Let's see here.
120.
Well, it's using
28.
9 as well. Let's see here. Okay,
96.
there it is. $96. There we go. Oh no, we're gonna keep the 9 in there.
And the 5th.
Yeah.
La Cantera.
Okay, 144.
Yeah. Safi Joseph, leave Safi out at your own risk. So I agree with you. Yeah.
Okay.
2 Safis and then the 1 Cassie. How can you go wrong?
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, it looks like a good ticket to me. I might even. Yeah. Hey.
It does look like a good ticket.
Yeah. How could this lose?
We did that pretty fast.
Yeah.
All right, let's get out to Tampa Bay Downs as the feeder's about to start. And I'll give you my best play-by-play. We will have Gulfstream Park for you live with live streaming, which, by the way, you're going to be able to live stream on EquinEdge's site here in about 3 or 4 weeks, David, on tracks that have approved us. They're loading right now at Tampa.
Nice. That's going to be fantastic. So that means that I won't be 3 minutes behind again. So that's fantastic. Thank you.
Okay, I'm on the 5. You are on the 7 horse.
Who is 10-1, and the 5 horse is 7-1. So we have prices in the first leg, Scotty.
And by the way, too, not only are you going to have live streaming, you're going to have race replays on approved tracks as well. I would say we've got approved by about 40 to 50% of the tracks so far. So that's going to be, and then of course the new layout of the entire site is going to be pretty cool. You guys are going to be
looking forward to it.
Oh man, it's the best release we've ever had by far.
Just in time for the NHC too. This is fantastic.
Just in time for the NHC.
Looking forward to
it. Hopefully we'll get the new GSR up. It's been a little bit buggy. I've been testing it left and right, but it's showing a lot of promise. In fact, it's about 6 points better than the current one. So it's looking really good too. So hopefully we can get that out for everybody.
Good news.
NHC. Yep, all good news.
All right, they're loaded almost in the gate, and looks like the 5 horse is reluctant to load. That's yours, Admiral.
I know. I don't like
he's going. What's he doing?
I think I might.
No, he's going.
I'm going to change the 8.
You may be too late.
So I got the 8 in, and that was my original pick.
Yes. And the 2 is 6-5 as the favorite. And the 6 at 12-1. It's just a little surprising to me. And they're off.
So right now the 3 horses in front. That is Determined Freedom at 17-1. There's just it's a ton of them. There goes the 8 horse on the outside, actually. The 10's on the outside of the 8, or the 7 actually is. Your horse and my horse are neck and neck, it looks like.
All right, my horse on is got the clear path on the outside. Some of these horses are in between having traffic there, so it's a weird start to this race. It looks like nobody wants to lead.
No, your horse and my horse are running really good. The 1 horse seems to be making a move. This could be you and me. The 5 horse didn't run, so I'm glad I made the change either way. Here's the 9. We talked about Kathleen's horse. Man, you're running better than my 8 right now. My 8's done. This is, Kathleen, she was live. 14-1. EquinEdge long shot.
They're just turning for home right now by me. So the 9 won the race.
The 9 and the 6. Kathleen's horse has got the measure. 14-1, going to beat the 6.
And the 7 has the lead right now. And my feet at that was just tired late.
9-6.
Yep.
9-6. Wow, the EquinEdge long shot, man, it's been on absolute fire. And look, Kathleen takes over, seems very live, and yep, I didn't go with it. Oh, that's the decisions we make.
Mm-hmm. Got to make decisions. 14-1, and I hate to red board, but I didn't like this horse, and did drop down to an $8,000 claimer, but never lifted a hoof. I mean, Yeah, and it was 123 to 1 last time out. 14 to 1 should have told you something.
Wow.
That was taking
Wow.
money.
Well, yeah, and then 8 to 1. Yeah, it was 20 to 1 odds maker morning line, 8 to 1 on the EE morning line. That's freaking cool as hell. That I don't know how it does it, honestly.
Yeah.
I really don't.
All right. Sometimes I think we just go with the EquinEdge long shot. Oldie had it as your backup pick. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. I'm really mad at myself for that. I mean, it was that was the horse I was going to play all along, and then I ended up changing it to the 8. I got caught up in the 8 a little bit. But either way, 9 horse wins. I think we were in agreement though that the 2 horse was vulnerable, and it sure was, wasn't it?
Yes, that's at
Right.
least we had one thing right about the race.
She has been. Kathleen O'Connell has been absolutely on fire.
Yes. Yeah. And it's your trainer, so yeah.
I know. I should be.
Yeah, sometimes we may overanalyze some of these cheaper races, and you're like, oh, you know what? When at the NHC, sometimes I'll just say, I'm going to go with Kathleen O'Connell. She's on fire. I can't handicap this race, and you end up getting a winner. So whatever works. And Dave, you're right.
Yeah, she has been on fire. But look at that. CC Evans was aboard, and
but, I mean, in retrospect, I'm still probably never going to use this horse. Just looking at it just looked like this horse just couldn't run.
Well, Kathleen takes over, and it's dropping from a 36 to a 28 SOR.
Right.
It's going from it's going from a 39 GSR to a 59. It's going up 20 points in GSR.
Yeah, but on the 6250 claimer at Hawthorne, what SOR was that? That had to be as low as this one.
The SOR was, but the horse has never had this high of a GSR.
Right, GSR. Right. Okay. Yep.
Right, and so and then goes to a new trainer who's been on fire.
Correct.
And all of a sudden, it's the EquinEdge long shot, and it's 14% to win. And the blinkers were taken off. This horse was so live. I listen,
Patrick, I'm totally on board with you, Patrick.
Coming here to it's not the only change. It's going up in GSR. I mean, it's going up 20 points from the last race in GSR. And look, it was only 7.5 lengths back in that last race from the 10 hole at 1% to win against a 36 group. That wasn't as poor of a performance as it might look.
Well, 7.5 before the race ended, but
at the top of the stretch though, from the 10 hole, right?
Yeah,
I'm just saying, I know the horse went off at 123 to 1, but
in any case, Scotty, it's a form reversal.
Doesn't matter anyways. I'm a little mad though because when I handicapped the race, the 9 is who I was going to use. But we look at it, like we all make these mistakes. Like that's a mistake on my part. All right, they're going into the gates over at Gulfstream Park. Race number 1. You're on the 5 horse. I love Sticky McSnickens.
And I love Lean Mean Machine. So I'm not going to say, though, if Lean Mean Machine finishes off the board, I quit gambling because then I'll have to take off the headset and then just leave. I mean, it's not going to be. But I'm really solid with this 5 horse. It's probably my best bet of the day.
Wow. Well, then I'm going to do an exacta box then. 5, 6.
And the 1 scares me.
Tracks are fast.
There's your triple. 156.
Set for a start.
Chris, I wouldn't have bet that horse with Monopoly money. Before it gets off slow.
Poor start from St.
5 got off good today.
In the middle, Lean Music Machine ridden for the early lead. Lamb Carl has speed far outside Senor Marcello, working between horses at Sticky McSnickens, trying to hold down the inside spot as Eastern Extension in the run to the half-mile point. The early trailer is St. Allen. To the far turn they go, outside Senor Marcello, toward the inside Lamb Carl. These two kick on, and it's now the leader Senor Marcello by a length over Lamb Carl in second. Sticky McSnickens is now third at the rail. Reverend Moon is now fourth. Lean Music Machine is next. Tinnabar looks for room toward the rail. Out the back, Eastern Extension and St. Allen. They reach the top of the stretch. They're a quarter of a mile from home, and they have Senor Marcello to catch. Edwin Gonzalez and Senor Marcello, an eighth of a mile from home.
Speed at 5 furlongs, Scotty.
On the outside with a 16th to go. On the inside, Senor Marcello fights to hold it. Lamb Carl trying to get by. Lamb Carl is surging. Lamb Carl's getting by. Lamb Carl won.
7, 8, 6.
No good. 7, 8, 6. The horse we left out with Herbert Miller.
Got off
third race off a layoff, but
second EquinEdge pick. and one didn't run, two didn't run at all.
Two didn't run. The
No.
5 had a weird trip. Looked like he was going to be right there in the lead and took back a little bit to rate.
We took out that 7 horse. We took that 7 horse out of the pick 5 as well.
Yeah,
that was ugly. All right, that's not a good start. Since we have
it can only get brighter from here, Scotty.
That's right. That's right. Since we have it live, let's watch this race, and we'll handicap it real quick, just so you know this group likes action. So we'll see if we can find a play here.
The horses
make up for
approaching
that.
the starting gate.
Laurel race 1.
Eight to 5 now is Stormy Midnight.
So Bonds Bell is the top EquinEdge pick. Last time out, it was wide and it broke bad, and you can throw that race out. Goes up. It was only 6% to win as well that day. Now it's 22% to win. I like horses like this. I can see the 1 horse completely, and it's getting bet as well, which means that the connections like the horse. So I think the 1 horse, this horse seems to stop the EquinEdge long shot. I would give the 1 horse a big look, and the 5 horse looks like a front runner, needs the lead, and just doesn't look reliable. And there's a lot of speed. The 6 is fast, but doesn't look like it can win, and it's dead on the board. And the 7 doesn't look great. I think it's all about the 1.
Halfway in.
I like the 5.
Okay.
Throw that last race out.
7 to 5. Bonds Bell.
Maybe you can stalk the 6, or maybe just get the lead over the 6.
Okay.
I'm on the 5.
His Capitude.
2 to 1. And the track looks a little muddy, correct?
It does.
And the 5 has second place finish over a good track in September over this track.
Stormy Midnight.
All 5 for me.
Doris is slaying.
5-1-6 triple. Or 5-1-6, 5-1-2. There you go. For me.
I like the 4 as a possible long shot, but I'm on the 1.
Okay.
All right.
It's a grudge match between Scotty and me. May the best man come out. The best horse. May the horse be with you, my friend.
Shifting up 5 to 2. Early value pick 5. Track is muddy. Lined up. And they're off.
Whoa, 1 completely shut off. The 2 shut off the 1.
Midnight, and the outside Champagne Dance will settle. Doris is slaying it, moving up. Here's Bonds Bell, just a length and a half from the front, and Capitude is taken back to second last position in the shuffle as they head on a far turn run. Doris is slaying it from Stormy Midnight, just the thing. Bonds Bell 4th rail. Then Champagne Dance travels 5th, 3 deep around the far turn, and Capitude is at the back of the pack. Doris is slaying it from Stormy Midnight, just the thing, still right there with him, picking up once more. Bonds Bell getting a perfect journey off the trio of leaders as they approach the quarter pole. Champagne Dance and Capitude turning for home, and it's just the thing, a narrow lead from Stormy Midnight. Outside of the track is Bonds Bell, and then Doris is slaying it. They're coming through the stretch now at the 3/16. Down inside is Stormy Midnight, kicking on for a little more. Just the thing, they're on the outside. They're head to head for the lead. The last 16th of a mile. Bonds Bell a distant 3rd. Stormy Midnight. Stormy Midnight prevails over just the thing.
4 seconds though.
Bonds Bell, then Capitude.
Good call. All right, what I do there? Okay, there we go. All right. You ready to get to the contest races?
Sure.
Okay.
Let me just pull up that screen here on Horse Players. Okay, so the qualifiers begin with, oh, hold on a second.
Race number 5 at Gulfstream.
Correct. Thank you. Let me just, I was a little slow getting there. Race 5 at Gulfstream. I got it up here. All right, let's run that simulator. And I think you know who I like, because we was using it in our last leg of the pick 5. You got an optional claimer, 35,000, going a mile on a turf. And I think I had referenced cheese before. Hopefully this is not too cheesy of a pick for you. What a bump. The one thing I like about this horse, second off a layoff. I thought the horse may in the last have been a little live. The concern I had was the distance for the first time, and I was right. The concern was warranted. This horse stalked the pace from an outside post, which I didn't love the outside post. That was a pretty fast race, a much better field in there, in my opinion. Now, second off a layoff, drops down to probably where this horse belongs. Cuts back to a mile. I would have preferred the cut back to the distance this horse has won at before, 7.5. But with that being said, I'm hoping the mile is within this horse's capabilities. And so I think at this morning line, 12-1, I'm all over the 2 cheese. I don't think you get 12-1, probably 6 or 8-1 at the best. So cheese, please, for me.
All right, and the 11 horse Belvin, what is this? Bella
Yeah, and those were the two. The Safi horses, I think, are the other 2 logical live horses here, the 9 and the 11, right? So yeah, but yeah, I'll get a much better price on my 2 horse. And La Cantera has raced in a 35 claimer before, and was claimed and moved up to 50. And we've seen Safi move horses up consistently and win. And it looks like the 11 has a little more class than the 9 horse. Draws Irad, outside post. Good workout on the Tapeta. Yeah, they're all logical horses, but I went with the price here. Cheese, second Scotty pick also.
The 11 is on paper by far the horse to beat. But that being said, draws that outside post. And if you look where the starting position is at 8 furlongs, there's not really a lot of room to get over. And the horse doesn't seem to have a lot of speed. Maybe Irad's going to send, but then he would have to use the horse up to get there. So it might be worth trying to beat that horse. But if you look at the this horse got second last time out against a better group than today, and the GSR was 56. Now it's 81. So clearly this horse wants 8 furlongs. It's earned $210,000 in 2 tries going 8 furlongs on the turf. So, I mean, this is a much easier group than what the horse has faced. And so I would imagine this horse is going to be super tough. But, man, that post is no bueno, is it?
No, because, I mean, at this distance, with the outside post here, that configuration of the track, that turn comes up pretty quickly. But in the 11's defense, I mean, it doesn't really have the speed to get the lead. So Irad's got to just shift over and get good positioning going into that first turn. But again, it's a tough post, and that's why it's also led me to even have a little more faith in the 2 cheese, which is a much better post position here.
What about the EquinEdge long shot?
Well, the Beach Goes On beat the 11 horse last time out.
I know.
On the synthetic. So
the synthetic.
Up the claim.
Save some ground. Saez gets on. And Velasquez gets off to ride the 4. But look at Saez also gets off the 2 to ride the 1.
Right. And then you get Dylan. So, yeah, I mean, it's not a throwout by absolutely no means. And I do like these, like I said, these Omaha beaches are very versatile. They can run on turf, dirt, synthetic. So yeah, no, I'd give that horse a shot, outside shot.
And Cam's Princess, this Velasquez was aboard for the maiden win, but that was on synthetic. The horse has a good number of GSR. I mean, maybe the 4's a good long shot look. Has a good look.
A little too cheap for me coming out of those $25,000 claimers.
Yeah.
And did lose to The Beach Goes On, and also National Slew.
I don't think I don't think The 11 just looks like by far the class of the field, but last time out, it really disappointed, didn't it? Loomed, and then maybe it just really didn't like the synthetic. Or maybe we should take that as a negative sign that this horse is not really doing great. I don't know.
Well, the only race this horse has won in his career is on the turf. So maybe it's just a case that Scotty, the horse did make a move and was right off that pace and just tired late in that synthetic race. I'm not thinking that maybe the horse didn't like she didn't like synthetic. Maybe she just doesn't want to go a mile and 16th. So this distance may be shorter for her and better.
My radar's up. Cam's Princess looks like a viable long shot. Zucchera. This one drops in GSR. It ran a good race last time out as well, but it's going to be hard pressed to run here good on the turf. I don't normally take a long shot like this that just broke its maiden, but it just broke its maiden super easily, and it's going to be fine on the turf. Maybe this horse is just really coming around and doing well. It's interesting that Velasquez stays there. I mean, he ran a nice second place finish on the one horse last time out, and but yet gets off. You're on cheese.
Now you're making me hungry. I'm gonna grow up and get some cheese here.
Let's see here. EE Morning Line on Nashville Slew, who's got a small win percentage, but this horse, this is an interesting long shot for sure. I agree. I don't know why the system doesn't like it. But the thing is the 11 has taken 40% of the win percentages, and it might be very vulnerable. What was it about cheese you liked again, David?
Well, it's basically the drop down. I don't think the horse appreciated the longer distance in the last race, not cutting back, dropping in class. I think that was a tough race that he raced in the last time. So, back to a better distance, second off a layoff.
Okay. I'm going to go with the 1.
Scotty's going with the 1. The beach goes on for Luis Saez.
Yep, I'm going to go with the EquinEdge long shot. But Cam's Princess is a horse that is super interesting as well to me. This horse has 2 second place finishes on the turf, and then and then wins last time out on the synthetic. But I have a feeling this horse is doing very well right now, the 4 horse too. So that's at a price that might be the type of horse you might look for, especially with the 11 being on the outside. La Cantera, before we go on to the race, Safi Joseph took over last time out. The horse in a 50,000 maiden claimer didn't run bad. Dan puts a note here, breezed easily. So.
And Chris, you're answering your question about the 2 horse cheese. I think it was a case of that horse having that outside post, the 7 out of the 8 post. I don't think that was trying 2 turns. It was advantageous, kind of rushed up, was really wide, and then made that middle move and just kind of flattened. I just think it's a case of either short off the layoff that didn't want the distance. Like I said, I prefer 7.5, but maybe in a mile with that class drop, I think this horse is real live.
The 7 super live as well. Look, if you look at the race simulator, the 7 finishes second on the race simulator.
7's got a shot here, absolutely.
Right.
It's a wide open race. But I would, again, with that being said, I would go 3D2, 9, 11.
All right. David's on the 2. I'm on the 1. All right. Let's. Okay, let's go to Gulfstream Park, race number 6.
Gulfstream Park, race number 6. We've got a back to the Tapeta, 1 mile and 70 yards. And one thing I noticed about this race, it doesn't seem to be a ton of early speed. Do you agree?
None.
All right. Speed, however, in the last, was at Gulfstream yesterday, speed is not particularly holding up so great on the Tapeta. So this makes it an interesting race. So I'll get right to the chase here. The horse I was trying to make here, Scotty, was the 5 Marsha. Nolan Ramsey had a winner yesterday. Their barn seems to be doing well. This horse comes from down from Tampa Bay. I mean, has raced at this level, 16, now you're 17.5. So it definitely fits here, but off a morning line at 8 to 5, I wasn't sure. Obviously a contender, and the 6 I thought was a strong contender here, with Tyler Gaffalione picking up the mount, the 8. But I landed here a little reluctantly on the 7, Sal's Dream Girl. I mean, maybe this horse likes synthetic a little better than turf, but has won on both surfaces, somewhat versatile. I don't know what happened in the last couple of races, but dropped slightly. Maybe off form, but 9 to 2 morning line. This is a tricky race. So I decided that a horse has won 4 races on the Tapeta, maybe wants the Tapeta. So maybe switching over to Tapeta today, this horse will wake up a little bit. So I'm on Sal's Dream Girl, the 7, and my second pick would be the 5, Marsha.
All right. 7-5 for David. And the 6 horse, More Than Glory. Did you look at this horse at all? I looked at this race earlier, and I thought this was an interesting horse. But it's first time going 1 mile and 70 on the synthetic. I just wasn't sure about the synthetic.
Right. Comes off synthetic at Turfway Park, but the horse was 24 to 1 in a 25 claimer. Yeah. Then we've got Laurel, Colonial Downs, Laurel, and I mean, so this horse is shipping down. I like horses like this, Scotty. I like to see a race over the track or a race at Gulfstream. So this horse, even though it's contender, I would probably fade a bit here. And if I was going to use a 3rd, I'd probably go over to the 8 Parallel.
Yeah, I'm going with the 5 horse. I'm going with the 5 horse, Edwin Gonzalez. I'm a big fan of Edwin's. I think he's going to try to get the lead here. The horse ran good 2 back against a similar group, and he might even go to the lead here. There's literally no speed in here, and whenever this horse has been really close to the pace, it seems to do very well. So I think, or she does. She seems to finish. She's realistically spotted. I think she's going to run a big race. So I'm going to go with the 5.
Okay. Scotty is on the 5. I am on the 7.
Okay, let's get back out to Tampa Bay Downs, as we've got to race number 2 coming up, and we're both on. I went with you. The first time starter is the big favorite, and Mr. Sweets, the big dropper, is 5 to 2, lukewarm right now. But it looks like the Wings of God is very live right now.
And my first time starter is taking any money at all. The 7 Lucky Twist.
7 is 6 to 1, so it is taking money.
A little money, yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
5 horse right now is even money though. Even money on the 5. Like that's got to be real money.
Yeah, that's
that's connections.
Maybe they know.
You know, that group that the 1 horse faced last time out was super good.
Mm-hmm.
And I would not ignore the 1. I mean, we're rooting for the 7 horse for the odds, but but I wouldn't ignore the 1 by any stretch of the imagination. The first-time starters oftentimes break bad, and the 5 is going to have to be very, very good to beat the 1. I don't love the rail like you mentioned earlier, David, but the 1 is a good animal in here. I love the odds,
Right.
actually.
Yep. Yeah, you're getting a pretty good price off that 9-5 morning. But you still got about a minute left.
Might not be a bad idea to, maybe do an exacta box with the, the 7 horse, 1-7, maybe, maybe 1-5, something like that.
I'll leave that up to you, Scotty.
Yeah.
I'm not totally convinced in this race. Any maidens 25 is usually a race I don't fire away at.
Yeah. The 4 horse, Mr. Baby, we talked about that horse. That horse is getting bet for Kathleen O'Connell.
Yep.
It seems, 4-1. It seems right now all her horses are live, doesn't it?
Yep.
Like she's right.
Changes, blinkers on, LASIKs on. A new trainer again. Takes John Hancock off. Hold it, didn't she? Here's the. Hold on a second. Who raced against John Hancock? There's a horse, John Hancock. Oh, they're coming out of that key race. So it's funny. So Mistress Sweets lost first time out to the horse that won was John Hancock, and the 4 has a trainer change from John Hancock to Kathleen O'Connell. So here you go. There's your exacta, the hunch exacta, 1-4. Hey Tony, how you doing, brother?
What's up, Tony?
Tony, if you go in, we'll be picking the 5th and 6th race at Aqueduct. But if you go into EquinEdge, into the notes, I put a couple notes on horses I thought had chances in the 1st and 2nd races at Aqueduct, and a few of the others. So
we're going over the
qualifiers right
qualifying
now.
Races, Tony. Curious to see how the 1 breaks here.
Yes, that's a key from that tricky inside post, right?
Broke last.
They're not even loading in the gate on my end here.
The 1 is the 1 and 4 are dead last. The 7 horse and the 6 horse are dueling right now. The 7 horse is showing a lot of speed, which is great. It's too bad the 6 horse is showing speed.
Yeah, 7, they might burn each other out there. Huh?
The 5 horse is wide right now and closing, but the 1's closing better than the 5. I think the 5 horse might be in big trouble. The 7 horse is running very good, David. In fact, the 7's pulling ahead of the 6 right now. The 1 is closing. 5 is closing a little bit, but not really all that much. Actually, the 6 is not giving up. The 7 was pulling ahead. Now the 1's kind of leveling off. The 5 is going wide. It's a very close race, but the 6 horse might not stop. 7's not changing leads. Here comes the 1 for second, but it's going to be the 6 to win the race.
6-1?
6-1.
6-1, my satisfaction.
Very close
Okay,
with the 5
contender,
horse.
yep. And you got a really good price, right? That's a fantastic price. On that
9-2 in the E morning line. That's the EquinEdge long shot again. Maybe we should just be playing the EquinEdge.
Maybe we should just be doing that.
Right? We talked about this horse. I'm like, on paper, I couldn't see it, but it's 9-2 on the E morning line, and it's the EquinEdge long shot. Like, sometimes
just go with your gut, and maybe we'll have a show next week where we'll just pick the EquinEdge long shot and go.
We got a tough race here. Your horse right now at Gulfstream Park, we'll have this race for you live, but this horse is the favorite, Jerry's Turn. I find that
surprised.
interesting. Yeah.
Yep. Maybe a lot of people named Jerry are playing the race. Do you think?
That could be it.
Yeah.
Let's see here. The 5 is dead on the board. The 4 horse is 5-2 right now because the 1's taking all the action. But you know, the one is not all that great of a breaker. It broke good last time out, but it's not all that great. Ooh, where'd that come from? Let's refresh that.
Yeah, the 4's taking money, and that's Rummerton. That's the other logical horse. And the 6 is taking a little more money than I figured. Just shows you it's such a wide open race, and Los Alice has drifted up to 11-1.
We've got about 2 minutes before Gulfstream Park. They're on the track.
Now, see, again, this is an NHC show. I will, just reference my thoughts here. If we were sitting in a ballroom, a couple of, about a month, 5 weeks from now, and this was a mandatory, and everybody was going to pick the 1 at this price, I think I'd call an audible here, because it's all about value at the NHC. I mean, I don't think I want this horse at 2-1. I'm locked in here. So in this case, I would probably make a change on both of my tickets at the NHC. Who that would be a last minute decision. It would probably be, at this point, based on the odds board, probably be the 7, who I think at 6-1 is value first time trying out.
Look at that. Ryan used the EquinEdge long shot in the feeders. Well, you're killing it then. You're in the lead.
Oh, I can imagine. Yep.
Yeah. I mean, we've had 2 feeder races so far, right? Or have we had 3? 3.
We had 3 feeder
race
races.
Number 1. Race number 1. Let's see who won that. So the 7 horse, the EquinEdge second pick, won that. But in race number 1 and 2 at Tampa Bay, I think the EquinEdge long shot won both those.
Yes, you're correct, my friend.
Right.
Yes.
The 6 horse, $23.80, and the $30.20. So the first 2 races have been won by the EquinEdge long shot. So Ryan, you're crushing.
All right, we're sitting at the ballroom table 11. I'm going to waver again. I'm just looking at the horses on the track. I like the way the 6 horse looks. So I'm in the feeder contest. I have the 1, but if I was at the NHC, I'd be changing my wager, $2 win place mythical to the 6, at 9-2.
I mean, the horse seems to be. It ran good. It didn't run very good 3 back, for whatever reason, but it was it was a tougher group.
The horses
then it dropped and then dropped and it ran, barely got up and won. I like the 6 horse, but I don't love it on the I don't. There's no way I think that the 6 horse is better than the 4 horse. I don't see it.
Right, and the only I don't totally disagree with you, but to me it's all about looking for the best value in the race, and at this point I think it may be the 6 or the 7. So I like the way the 6 looks on the track. I didn't anticipate the 1 being 2-1. So
yeah,
you're getting 2-1 on a horse who's 2 for 41 lifetime. I don't think it's worth the risk reward. So that's this horse I would fade.
Well, maybe
watch now. This horse will win by 10 lengths wire to wire, right? So.
Maybe. Hey, listen. If the EquinEdge long shots are going to be this hot, I'll do a ticket where I just use the EquinEdge long shots on the entire. Why not?
Okay, on the qualifier, sure. Why not? Maybe it's a trend thing.
Right?
It's now post time.
It's been on fire. Yesterday was on fire as well. But really, for the last 3 or 4 weeks, David, the EquinEdge long shots been sick.
5-2 Remerton. The 1 and 4 do the betting dominating here. 4-1 third choice is the 5 Carrington. Mauricio Caramanos on the recent winner for Michael Matz. San Piridou is 5-1, 6-1 on Secret Lover. Early pick 4 starts right here. Pool passes 102,000. San Piridou and Secret Lover.
And they're almost
Ready
all
for the
loaded
early
in.
pick
At least
four.
I get to
On the
watch this
computer
race
track.
with
All set.
you guys.
There you
Good
go.
luck, everybody.
There's Dan. What's up, Dan?
Hey,
And
congrats, Dan.
The
they're
one
off.
broke good. Whoa.
Good start for
Like,
Jerry's
very
turn from the
easily.
rail, but Remerton is quick to begin, and so is Selecto. Selecto and Remerton 1-2 early. Carentan is now 3 wide in third with
Let's
Jerry's
see
turn
how
in the
Luca
purple
can
colors
get
and
this horse
15 while
into
racing
trouble.
fourth. San Peridou is next in front of Secret Lover. Las Olas, the
He's
early
just
trailer,
cruising.
as they round the first turn. Tyler Gaffney.
The one horse is on a class drop.
Selecto is toward
Yes.
the rail. Up on the outside,
And
that's Carentan on
Remerton
a snug
is
hold
on
and
the
not
lead.
happy about it
5
as Jerry's
horse
turning fourth.
Carrington
Outside goes San Pedro,
actually dropped from 4 to 1 to 5 to 2 in the gate. So
and the trailer is Las Olas.
he seems to be
25
prodding the 5 to
seconds for a
keep up with
very
the 4,
easy
who's
opening
running
quarter.
very
They
easily.
have less than 5
25
furlongs to race.
flat
Remerton
is a
leads
pretty
3
slow.
parts of length. Carentan is second. Selecto.
Very slow.
He's at the inside third. In between horses with his ears
Eric
straight up
likes
is
the
Jerry's
5
turn.
horse.
He wants to do some running, but he's not allowed to yet. Out in the center is San Peridou, a gap of 2 to Las Olas.
Eric picked it up a little bit, 49 and 3.
With the half and 49 and 3. They have less than half a mile to journey. They have Remerton to catch. Into the far turn on top, 3 parts of length. Carentan is second.
1 has got a lot of horse.
Jerry's turn given
3's
the green light
done,
by
6 is
Panici to
done.
make a move. He's now 3 wide in third. Back to fourth goes Selecto. San Peridou
Now the
and
one's
Las Olas
struggling.
are
This
next.
looks like the 4 and the
Carentan
5.
has now gained the upper hand, under urging to take the lead.
Yeah,
Running Remerton.
Luca could have had it.
He's now
You're
third.
right
Las
in that
Olas,
mix
blinkers getting
early.
started on the far outside. Off
Side
the
of the
turn
right.
in the stretch drive, it's Carentan. He comes away with the lead. He's an eighth of a mile from
1's
home.
not
Remerton
done.
fights
No.
hard toward the inside. 2 back to Jerry's turn, who tries to level off. Final 16th
5's
of a
gonna
mile.
win this
Carentan
race.
I don't think he's
still
getting
has the
there. He's
lead.
like struggling.
Carentan has the lead by a length and a half, and Karamatos and Carentan, they'll
Right
win it.
back.
The battle's for second. Carentan in front.
Yeah, I got a
Jerry's turn
place
One
gets
horse
there,
second.
but
back.
It's closer for third,
and again,
either Secret Lover or
based on
Remerton.
that ride, and I'm not the biggest Luca fan, but again, I'm dealing with a horse who's 2 for 41 lifetime. 2 wins, 9 seconds. He's just got his 10th second. So I
Yeah.
think I made the right choice. Even though I would have been shut out, I would have got a small $3.80 place price. So in retrospect, it's still with a 1 wager, it wasn't worth it.
5 drop big time.
Yep.
All right, let's see if we have any time. You know what? We don't actually have a lot of time. So I was gonna show the Laurel race, but I think we need to get out to. We did race number 6 already. Let's go to race number 8.
Stay at Gulfstream.
Yeah, we'll stay at Gulfstream.
Okay, so race 8. When you pop that up there.
All right, Gulfstream race number 8. Here we go.
Okay, race number 8.
That was a bad ride.
Yep.
5-1. Okay, we're gonna follow Dave. Dave's grid was 5-1-4-7. That was sweet.
Nice. All right, Gulfstream Park, 6 furlongs, optional claimer, $20,000. Fillies and mares 4 and up, and it looks like these are Florida breds, correct? Yes, Florida breds. Okay. And the one thing that stood out to me here a little bit, I think it's going to be a pretty contentious pace. Even though this Gulfstream dirt course, I mean, you want to be close to the pace, but I think this race, it may have a meltdown here. So I was looking for a closer. So I'll go right to it. I was looking at either the 7 or the 8. And I landed on the 8, Sophia Storm, third off a layoff. Sam Walensky. It's been a little cold, but it can rebound. Has won 8 races at Gulfstream Park, 17-30 in the money. Off that freshening, it hasn't really shown much the last 2 races off that layoff, but I think gets the right pace in here. I like the workout on January 4th. However, that was before his January 11th start. So, but you go from 7 furlongs. Cutting back to 6, you think you have enough pace, and I could see this 8 horse flying at the end, and so my 8 would be my primary pick, and the 7, one of the other closers in the race with Tyler, the other pick. So 8-7 for me, Scotty.
All right, the 8 horse happens to be
the long shot. Scotty,
long shot. Yep. So the 6 horse. This horse needs to be forwardly placed, and you're right. There is a lot of speed in here. 2 is fast, 6 is fast. The 3 horse seems to need the lead for its best, and it's not fast enough. So you can probably throw that horse out completely. the 4-horse Happy Ride. Here's another one that needs to be forwardly placed for its best. It can rate a little bit, but at this level, probably not. So it's probably up against it. The 5-horse, another one that seems to need to be near the lead. Right. And the 1-horse seems too cheap for these, although it won nicely coming from behind last time out. Maybe a horse that you might want to put in the money. I think, the EquinEdge second pick or the EquinEdge long shot. Let's look at Star of Saturn real quickly.
Off the claim.
Off the claim. Now, the one thing we should consider, 2 looks like a runner in here, is that maybe the 2 or 6 clear. You know what I mean? Like one of them clears.
Possibly, yeah.
Right? I mean, you have to consider that could happen. They look dead even on the race simulator. Their pace numbers are exactly even. They're training good. Dan put a note on the 2-horse. Okay, and a note also on the 6-horse. Looks fit, professional, so doing it well in the mornings, 31%. I don't think the 6-horse can rate. I really don't. And the 2-horse is fast, broke good last time out, might be talented. It did win at 5 furlongs last time out. The fact that the 2-horse is not a higher win percentage, I think the 2-horse is in there just to hurt the 6. That's what I think.
Right, and the 6 is very fast, Scotty, but the interesting thing is here we got Joel Rosario picking up the mount, right? No, Joel is not the type of rider that usually guns, right?
No.
So it's interesting to see what he does with this horse. I'm not going to criticize him, but it wouldn't surprise me that the 2.
It wouldn't surprise me if he tries to rate this horse off of the 2.
Yeah.
You're right.
Right.
You're right. No doubt about it.
I've seen Joel give me a few dubious rides over the last year, and so I'm like, okay, what's he going to do today?
What's up, Justin?
Hey, Justin. Good to see you, brother.
I'm thinking that you're spot on. If you look at the Sophia's Storm, the 8, and you look at Star of Saturn, both of them have 58 SORs, or meaning who they faced going 6 furlongs on the dirt. So 9-2. Well, look at this. I think the Sophia Storm. I think you're onto something here. I'm going with the 8. I'm going with you.
Okay, jumping on a bandwagon, Scotty. We're both on the 8, Sophia Storm. My solid second pick would be the 7, Star of Saturn. So I will probably be boxing those horses as a closer exacta in the 8th at Gulfstream.
And the last race, Gulfstream 9. Let's cover that.
All right, so Gulfstream 9. Okay, going a mile, maiden special weight, state breds, Florida's breds, and maiden special weights. Now, Scotty, I'm going to play a little game with you here. This is a key play for me in this race that and turf races. What do I like? And you tell me who I'm going to pick in this race.
All right,
should
hold
be
on
pretty
here.
obvious.
Let's see here. I will tell you. Let me look. Maybe the 4-horse.
Okay, the 4-horse, just relax. No, but that was one of the considerations. So I'll just disclose I'm a big turf, first-time turf. That with not being the favorite, turf breeding is important to a certain extent. But when you're facing horses that haven't proven they have any huge amount of talent, there's no world beaters in here. Give me first-time turf. And I'm all over the 7 here, Scotty. Genuine Gomo. Okay. And the trainer doesn't hurt either. Todd Pletcher. The jockey doesn't hurt either. JR coming on. The workout, the 2 bullet workouts, that adds to my curiosity here. And blinkers on. First time turf, stretching out. You got a dirt race. The horse showed a little speed after a bump start. That's just a prep race. Maybe turf meant. Let's go with the 7. Genuine Gomo. If I have 2 tickets, I want this horse on both. All 7 for me, Scotty.
Florida breds, and the 5-horse went on the turf last time out and really improved last time out. GSR goes up a little bit. The win percentage goes up a little bit with Tyler Gaffleone. Added blinkers last time out.
Definitely contender.
Yeah, and I have a note on this horse. In fact, I'm following this horse, and Dan put a positive note on this. Looked good. and goes to a new trainer, Antonio Sano. But here's the thing: I put a note on this horse. Watch for dirt. It's kind of interesting. My note. It ran good last time out, but for whatever reason, I thought it would do better on dirt than turf.
Yeah, adios, Charlie. Yeah, Colonel John on the damp side.
Yeah, and but which makes me like the 7 as well. So I would imagine the 7 horse is going to improve. This is not the best field in the world. They're Florida breds as well. The EquinEdge long shot was another one I considered. This one's moving up in win percentage a little bit. It's not really a turf horse though. The GSR on the 5 horse lower Broadway is good, and I kind of like that. So I'm thinking about going this direction here or the 7. I'm looking at one of those horses. I would imagine this horse is going to improve. It was bumped to the start last time out. It's a one-paced horse. They let off last time out. I think you're going to see a big improvement from the 7 horse. So we're on the same page.
Okay, and just for I know you brought up the 5. That's my exacta. That's the other horse I like. Would it surprise you if you learned that last time out on January 12th, a win-win-win, trying turf for the first time at 9, almost 10 to 1 with blinkers on and Lasix on, that I had this horse. I bet that horse last, so and finished 3rd. So that's my exacta. I'm using a 7-5 exacta in that race.
7-5 lower Broadway.
And horizontals, I'll be alive in my pick 5 to 5 and 7 there.
All right, let's see if we can learn anything here. Saez is off to ride the 1 horse. He's off the 7 horse, but yeah, I think Pletcher put Velasquez aboard. That's what I think. He's not going to get off of a Pletcher horse, I don't think.
No, absolutely.
Yeah, no. So, and this is a much tougher group as well. So genuine Gomo for both of us. So let me put that play in there. 7-5. We're in agreement in there. 7-5.
Okay. 7-5.
7-5.
Just in Justin's defense, he's always worked. He's a very hardworking gentleman. I know that for a fact. So.
Oh, stop sucking up to him.
I'm going to borrow a few bucks from him at the NHC.
Yeah.
Doing, yeah.
Okay, Tampa race number 6. Let's see here. We got Tampa race number 3.
Okay, so we cleaned up Gulfstream, right?
Yeah, let's look at Aqueduct real quick.
Okay.
We're making some progress, actually.
I do like a horse in here. So
okay, who's it going to be?
Pull up. Who's it going to be? Who's it going to be? Who's it going to be, boy? The 1 horse, My Angel. If you look at my notes.
Move up in class from 20K maiden claimer to the 30K shows a bit of confidence by the barn. Don't ignore here at a price. My Angel, 7-2 currently, 3-2 on the EE morning line. That's a bit surprising.
Yeah.
You're not worried about the rail?
No, because yesterday was a muddy track over at one of my favorite racing surfaces, and it was somewhat inside speed favoring. I wouldn't say it's a bias, but normally the second day after it rains, it's pretty speed favoring. So I'm taking that shot. That speed and the rail is going to be good on a drying out track today.
Okay. The 3 horse just looks like the type of horse to me that just kind of like prods and then just finishes. Yeah. I don't love the 3 to win. I like horses that are trying within the race and not just finishing up late, personally. And here's a horse that went good from the rail last time out, the 4 horse Couperet. And but I think my worry would be a little bit that this horse seems to need the lead for its best.
Right. Yeah. And again. Yeah, 0 for 17.
Yeah, and the 5 is dropping in class, but I mean this 5 just stops. It's going to have a very clear lead, and the 4 horse is fast as well. The race to me is 1-3.
Well, I think Rob Atris's barn is gotten hot. And I think the most likely winners are either one of his 2, the 1 or the 5. The 5 is the cutback, and the 1's cutting back a little bit. But I think that, the 1 doesn't have to go for the lead. The 1 can just, she can probably just stalk along that rail. That day she had the lead in the last race, January 24th, it was a pretty slow pace. There wasn't a lot in there.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that horse, she's going to be on the lead today, but she'll be stalking. I could see a Rob Ouch's Exacta.
Let's see here.
And 7-2. I mean, that's not a bad price.
If the 4 duels with the 5 stopping, and you're looking at the 1 and the 3, that's what it looks like to me. Let's see here. That 5 is just burning way too much money for me.
But, never been favored. Never lost as a favorite. 2 turf races that were sprints. Yeah, I mean, now drops down back to 30 after claim.
I mean, it doesn't just stop. I mean, it like puts on the brakes. It just.
Yeah. And if you look at it, Rob claimed this horse back in August of last year. Had the layoff till November, came back on the turf, stopped. Then he goes back to the dirt, maiden special weight, stopped. And then stretched out to a mile, maiden 40, stopped. Now they're dropping it back down to 30, the level of the claim. It's they probably don't looking for answers with this horse. I agree with you. 8 to 5 is no value there. I prefer his other entry, other part, the 1.
Dan says 3 best LP. What's LP? I don't know what LP is, Dan. Maybe it's something simple I should know, but for whatever reason, it's not hitting me.
LP?
Yeah.
3 best LP.
Oh, late pace.
Late pace.
For sure. 3 is the best closer.
Oh, closer. Yeah, if you want to.
Yeah.
But I don't know if this horse is going to get enough pace up front. Well, could get the pace. Yep.
No, there's going to be pace between the 4 and the 5. I mean, 4 is on the inside, needs the lead. 5 needs the lead. You're going to get pace in here. And
right. And you're dealing with a horse who's 0 for 17 and very slow early.
But it's never got 6.5 before. And 6.5 might be right up this horse's alley. The extra half furlong could make the difference.
I did try 6.5 before in the second start, it looks like, at Saratoga. But the 6.5 looks no different than the 5.5 or 6. So I'm not sure the horse couldn't get the 6.5.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
it's not a horse for me. I will tell you that.
I agree. I don't trust this horse on the win.
No.
But I think you're 1. It's the 1's 3-2 on the morning line, for God's sakes. Why?
Yeah, I'm liking the price. And again, as I keep going back to value. Now, when I like my Angel 4-1, I'm hoping to get that price when this horse was 2-1 on the board at 1.5 to 2. Now up to 7-2. It's worth a play at that point. Yeah, I think it's what the horse should be. I don't want what the horse shouldn't be if it's overbet. And sometimes you'll get burnt like that. You'll change your mind because to me it's all about value. Okay, and sometimes also in large fields horses get lost on the board. It's a small field, but 7-2 to me is acceptable price.
Yeah, I think the 1's going to sit a nice trip on the rails. It could be sitting in 3rd, right behind the 4 and the 5 dueling.
Okay, they're loading the gate for me. Is the race over yet?
They're loading on the gate. Nope, they're just starting.
You want to give a whole? Oh, you can't. We can't give a whole call on the race. We'll get.
The 1's going to go for the lead. 4 got the lead. 5 didn't even go for the lead. Wow, that was planned. He's strangling the 5 right now. But I mean,
okay, and they're off on my end.
Very interesting. There's no pace on whatsoever. In fact, the 3 horse who comes dead, this 5's getting the weirdest ride I've ever seen. Like
he's like right. Well, I'm a little behind you here.
And the 3 who's a dead closer is okay. Now the 5's coming, so they planned that. Oh wow. No. Here comes the 3.
At 9-5, the 0 for 17 horse, huh?
Easy in hand. 3-5. 3-5-1-7.
Right. So, and they bet the hell out of the 3 horse at 9-5. Yeah. I could never take that horse at 9-5, but it just shows you this is a maiden 30 claimer, maiden claimer. I mean,
And 4 had an easy lead, David, too.
I know.
4, you know. Here we go. So race number 3 at Tampa Bay Downs.
Hold on one second. Some weird noises going on here in the condo. Windy at Aqueduct today at the back of the horses through the stretch. Heavy track, slow time. Yeah, I have to tell you, it depends. If the wind's coming out of the northwest today, that's going to favor closers. If it's a strong, strong wind, I've been there many times, and I've seen that scenario.
So the 8 horse Starview Twinkle is my top play. You like the 6 horse, who's the favorite. I hated this horse today.
What?
It's
a weird morning, I have to tell you. Horses that I'm hating or are favorites who are taking money. Horses that I don't like are winning at short prices. What is going on here?
Yeah,
that must be a good thing for the qualifiers. This is probably our day for qualifying success, I would hope.
So we got Gulfstream Park race number 3 coming up in 6 minutes as well. And Ryan, how are you doing? Are you doing any good? I would imagine.
Pull up that leaderboard for everybody.
Yeah, pull up that leaderboard and let's see how Ryan Dickinson is doing.
All right, let's go to horse players. It kicked me out because I was.
Ryan is the COO of EquinEdge, by the way, and you know Ryan.
Sure.
And, Ryan is the EquinEdge long shot's been on fire. He wants to try to qualify for the NHC. So it looks like based on those 2 long shots, I don't think there's any way that Ryan doesn't.
All right, Ryan. Oh, there's no Ryan in here.
There's no Ryan in the feeder?
No.
Ryan, I thought you played in the feeder.
RYAN?
Yeah.
No, the only Ryan is I have a Brian Bradley. Bradley.
That's weird.
I don't see a Ryan.
Let's see.
Alexis Zepp is got 2 entries in 12th.
No, Ryan's not in here. I thought you played in the feeder, Ryan. He's on a plane right now.
Maybe he played the qualifier.
Yeah, maybe he did.
All right, so the leader before this Tampa race, Tony Chavone, with $74.80.
Yeah,
Karen Thornton, $58.40, and it's the top 30. And right now, 30th is Dylan McIntosh, a well-known tournament player, $25.20. So that's the cut line. And let's see, I am way down. I'm in 100th. So I need 2 winners to even try to make a run here. So it looks like I won't be saving the $57 today, but we got a couple more weeks left on a tour. I'm just hoping I can crack that top 3 today. You know, those tour points are so valuable at this point, and it's so tough to move up. I mean, even if it's Scotty in these, if you strike the top 10 or top 5 in the contest today, you might only get 300 tour points on top of what you have, right?
Yeah.
For a great performance. So it gets frustrating.
Can you please explain to me how the 8 horse at Tampa went to the lead? Somebody please tell me.
Yeah, it's been a strange day.
Like losing his mind. They're going 22-3. They're flying, and he goes to the lead. Right now, the 2's in front of the 8. Country Economics and Starview Twinkle. I mean, somebody's got to come from behind, I would imagine. I mean, the jockey was all out to get this lead on the 8, and he's struggling now. 2's running very good. Here comes the 3. Yeah, Kozak Spirit. Goodbye.
Is the 6 making any move here?
Wow, no. 3 just went about 8 wide, but he's going to win for fun, I would imagine. Oh, 2's not stopping. Not changing.
speed.
Here comes the 7. 3's going to win.
Yeah, 3.
Yeah.
I see.
Oh,
it
it
is
went too
now.
fast. It went too fast. 3-7-2.
Okay, another rough morning for me. But yeah, no, they went too fast. We had a horse that dropped down from a maiden special to a 16, and
E
has
long
raced
shot.
on the dirt before, right? E long shot, and I made the mistake of using a horse that had no dirt for him, figuring I'd be a wise guy.
Weird ride, right?
And the
On
money
8
monkey, yeah, it's weird race. Yeah, you wouldn't anticipate there would be such a contentious pace like that based on the
Yeah.
numbers, but
E long shot getting bet down in that race to 3-1.
yeah, Scotty,
19%.
we would have probably both qualified if we just used the E long shots
I
on these
know.
6 races.
Oh no, for sure.
Hey,
We'd probably be at the top. All right, there's one more race in the feeders, which I have no chance of
and me neither. Yeah.
beating.
Especially since we have a 1 to 5 shot. That's our place play.
Yeah, I watched the video of this 3-horse too. I liked it. It ran really good at this level, or actually at 10,000 2 back, and it got a 4th place finish, and it wasn't the best trip. And then new trainer came in and said, "I'm going to put you in a maiden special weight," and that was too strong of a field. And then dropped back in class here. 4-year-old filly with only 2 lifetime races, now 3, gets off the schneid and gets the win. And your second choice, 6 got overbet. Like, it's easy to say after the fact, but 6 was getting overbet. I still.
Yeah. And what did 6 end up going off at?
6 ended up getting off at 3-1.
Yeah, to me that's a no use. I bet the 6, figuring it was morning line 8-1. Scotty. I'm figuring I'm getting 8-1 all day long, 6, 8, 10-1, and when it goes off at that price, I'm really not interested. But that's the peril that you find yourself in these pick and praise. But thank God the NHC is not a pick and pray.
So the winner, or that horse, Patrick, that's true, huh? So the jockey, hold on here, the horse with the trainer is also the jockey. So of the 3-horse, so A. Sherman, who is Alexandra Sherman, is the actual trainer and jockey of this horse. Holy hell. I've never seen that. First time I've seen that.
You sure that A. Sherman is not her brother?
Look,
the jockey.
Alexandra Sherman.
Oh, okay. I apologize. Okay, I'm not as familiar with it. Okay, very good.
Wow.
Very good call, Patrick. Yeah,
Yes.
that's the angle.
That's somebody needs to tweet that out. That'd probably get a lot of likes. Yeah, insane.
Yeah.
So good.
How about that?
All right. So Gulfstream Park race number 3. This will finish off the qualifiers. Look, it's 2-horse race. We talked about this. Nobody else is really getting any kind of action at all. I mean, Right Karma. This is a horse that was off for a year and a half before it came back and broke terrible. His head was turned in the stall or in the gate when they took off, and still got a 2nd place finish by 3 lengths. High Prince is a horse that does get bet, and it didn't run very well, but it was wide last time out at the turn. I made a note of that. So I imagine we're going to see more speed from the 3-horse Right Karma with a good break, probably.
You would think so. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Let's see here. The EquinEdge long shot, praiseworthy. I mean, the way the EquinEdge long shot's been running today, this horse has got 6 second place finishes and 6 thirds. Maybe the 8-horse is the horse that we have to put in the 3rd spot. Right? Maybe get a nice trifecta. Let's
the way the EquinEdge long shot's been going today, I don't think you have any other alternative.
Yeah. Like if you want, like you could get maybe you could do a 2-3 exacta box. You actually make a little bit of money if it comes in 3-2, but you make a good amount of money, like 4-1, if it comes in 2-3. So that's not a bad play.
Well, just for me as a horse player, Scotty, you will never find me boxing the 1st and 2nd choice in a race as my exacta box.
I get it.
It's just not me. I'm more likely to take one of them and leave the other out, and probably would take the 2 and leave the 3 out. But in this case, I think the 3 is probably a lock here.
Yeah.
It's now post.
Probably, if I was going to play an executive, which I wouldn't, but I'd probably use somebody else second, maybe the 4 or the 6.
Second
try to
choice,
be a wise guy here.
The main track for the first time. That's 2 High Prince. Victor Barboza Jr. goes to Tyler Gaffleone for the riding assignment.
All right.
These 2 dominate.
Eric's asking about the 1 hitting the board.
Son of Sky Mesa,
Up 13. I didn't see that, Eric, but if a horse is going up 13 points in GSR, give it a shot. Probably put it in. I don't think it can be in the first 2. You might want to put it in the 3rd and 4th spots then.
2 more.
Yeah, might be challenged at a mile though. Looks like a sprinter. All right, good luck everybody, and it's made
Who's going to show more speed? David, who's going to show more speed, the 2 or the 3?
The 3.
Complete the line. 2 and 3, the market leaders here.
I would assume.
John likes the 1 horse to win, place, and show.
And
so 2 and 3 both broke good.
Not a good start for Last Shall Be First. It was a good start inside for Mischief Exposed, who heads off for the early advantage. In between horses, One Last Kiss. First timer West Hampton has some speed. These 3 almost in line. Moving up from the inside, that's High Prince racing together with Right Karma. Praiseworthy's on the outside, and the trailer is Last Shall Be First. They complete the opening quarter behind Leo Salas and One Last Kiss, who lead now by almost a length. West Hampton is second. Gaffleone secures the rail for High Prince. He's moved up to be joint 3rd now. Out in the middle, that's Right Karma. He has clear race.
1 to 5 on Right Karma.
The opening quarter
that's
went
crazy.
to 24 and 3. Way out in the center is Praiseworthy, shuffling back to last again. Last Shall Be First. They make their way half a mile from the wire. One Last Kiss leads.
3 struggling right now.
On the outside, West Hampton is second. Saving ground is High Prince. 3 wide.
Here he comes.
He's coming, but he's being asked. The 2 has more horse than the 3 right now.
Tries to move with him and has the rail run for High Prince. So the 2 favorites start to reach One Last Kiss. Praiseworthy is passing West Hampton as they reach the final 5, 6.
2 did not like being inside of that 4 horse.
Has the lead and moves away a length and a half. From the inside,
but now this 2 is moving pretty good.
Yeah, the 2. This is going to be a 2-horse race to the wire.
Off the turn in the stretch drive, 3/4, 112 and 1.
You think the 2's going to win?
At the inside, High Prince trying to give Right Karma a race. They're 1/8 of a mile from home. Right Karma has the lead. High Prince from the inside tries to go get him, but he's tightened up for race.
He's trying to keep him in tight there.
He is.
Right Karma driven out. High Prince is fighting hard. He has 1 final push, but Right Karma does enough. Right Karma
at 1 to 5. Didn't win like a 1 to 5 shot, but that's all counts as he crossed the finish line in front.
Well, David, it came in 3, 2, 8. At 22 to 1, the 8 horse did get 3rd.
Right. There you go. That EquinEdge long shot is killing it today. We've got the numbers in it's ice cold try.
Yeah. Ice cold try. And
right, Scotty, I'll be back in 30 seconds to 45 seconds. Thanks.
Patrick, I couldn't agree with you more. I was really surprised with the way the 2 was struggling. I truly believe that the 2 goes to the outside of the 3. It actually wins that race. You're absolutely right. That was a bad decision on Tyler's part. Absolutely should have gone to the outside. The horse wanted no part of being on the rail. There's look at your winner. Big favorite at 1 to 5. So pretty chalky. It'll be interesting to see what the trifecta pays. Let's get this back up here. And there we go. Okay. Feeder is done. We're going to need to go to Tampa Bay, race number 6. Tampa Bay, race number 6. For those of you just joining us, welcome, 1. And 2, the EquinEdge long shot's been on fire the last couple of days, in fact. But you might want to just be watching the EquinEdge long shot carefully. Don't really know why this 3-horse here, That's My Cat, is the EquinEdge long shot, but most of the long shots I wouldn't like usually anyway. So who knows? But it could have gone with the 8, who's finishing. Could have gone with. It really wasn't a lot of choices, but a big drop in GSR. I definitely won't be using that horse. But it has been doing very well. Fairgrounds is coming up here shortly, and Justin has been absolutely in fuego with his notes and picks. So if you didn't get a chance to see, you might want to go check him out on Twitter at Justin Sampson. And strong contender here in the 3-horse is what he's saying. Let's see, he's got a note on the 4. There's value. He's a player against this group and will be dangerous up front. So he's got notes on the 3 and the 4. So yeah, but he's been killing it. That does look like a pretty wide open race though. We got Laurel Park race number 3 coming up here shortly. I'll look real quickly and see if there's anything that maybe hits me because we can show this race live, but it certainly wouldn't be this horse.
Excuse me.
This one got pinched at the start, was 6 wide here. This is a trier here in this race. I don't know what happened in this race. Maybe just didn't like 8 furlongs. I don't know, but it didn't run. But it's been the favorite in the last 5 races. 2-1. It was 7-5 on the EE morning line. That one looks like a tough horse. I'm surprised it's not in the EquinEdge top 2 picks though. So maybe it's worth trying to beat, possibly. 5 horse is right there at the race at the finish. Cajun Dream. David, I'm on Laurel Park race number 3 right now. I thought I would just, since we can show the race, I thought maybe we just show this, but 6 horse is the EquinEdge long shot. Was claimed. The trainer, Gina Perry, is 11% with first-time claims. Don't really see this horse on a muddy track. And Karen McGee, who's one of the top trainers in North America, seems to have a contender here in the 7, who's also the top EquinEdge pick. Draws outside, and seems to be tactful enough. And then the 8 horse, Big Daddy's Boy, no speed whatsoever and draws an outside post. We'll be closing probably, but another one for Gina Perry actually, who has 2 of them, both the 6 and the 8. Excuse me. Thank you.
No love for the 1 horse?
Got it. No, I mean, make a case for this horse. I can't see it.
This horse was bet down at 12-1 at a $20,000 claimer and was steadied at the start on a sloppy track. Canteros usually likes off tracks. This goes down to the lowest level it looks like it's ever been at. Draws the rail. I think this horse got a shot at a price.
Had all sorts of issues and was bet to 12-1 and 9-1 on the EE morning line. Maybe that's a horse worth putting in the money. Very tough race. Thank you, Jeff.
Tough race. Yeah. Yep. I'm going to, yeah, I actually threw it at that. Again, it's all about value for me at 11-1. Put a little win place bet on it for me.
Yeah. All right.
For entertainment purposes.
Okay. And Kings River hasn't really done anything. Hasn't really been bet. Hasn't run a lick. 6% here against a 58 group. First off the layoff. That wasn't a bad effort, but has really not done well since then. Don't really see that. Although the horse is this will throw me off always. Like, why is this horse 6-1 on the EE morning line?
Right.
You know, we see these. We see these all the time. Like, why? You know?
Yeah. Yeah. No, I hear you.
Right. So. Let's see here. I mean, on paper, this looks like the horse, but it's not in the top EquinEdge picks. The race simulator has it right there, though. The 5 horse is 9-1 right now. Cajun Dream. Make a case for Cajun Dream for me, David.
Cajun Dream. Was in that $20,000 claim. Well, that wasn't the same claim. This horse drops down. Was claimed at 12 for 12, moved up to 20, drops back down to 12. Has won 4 races, 0 for 10 at Laurel.
Not a good break.
Has a big race back on August 11th. Just missed closing at almost 11-1. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a contender. It's a tough race.
It's not the type of race that I would play personally. Because, I mean, unless I was just like you always say, for entertainment purposes, where you just put a couple of bucks. But we'll see what happens here.
Laddie TNT. B West, and here's Got It now moving into second, and on the chase out of the outside. Dance for Green is next in fourth as they move down the backstretch. Big Daddy's Boy, and Kingsbury is in between horses now. And next is Cajun Dream racing to the back of the pack, heading off of the far turn run. Pit Stop Man making progress on the back, has now moved all the way up, now fifth in mid-flight and about 3.5 to 4 from the front. Into the turn they roll. Addie's Laddie TNT, Big Daddy's Boy trying to press. 2 lengths back. Pit Stop Man is in third. Got It ridden along for more in fourth. Cajun Dream, Dance for Green. B West second last at this point, and Kings River at the tail of the field. Quarter pole, top of the stretch. At ease, Laddie TNT kicks on, opens up at will. Now 3 in front from the driven Big Daddy's Boy. Pit Stop Man to the outside, and Got It near the inside. Through the last furlong, it's Addie's.
My horse is tiring, so entertainment play is not going to work out. This horse is romping.
Lengths. Big Daddy's
3 horse winning easy. It looked like that type of race. Look at it. Look at for second. It's just a wall of it.
TNT. Big Daddy's Boy.
387. Yeah, I mean, no. I mean, that's just was such a tough race. 2-1 too. Got bet down to the second choice. New trainer. Jose Corrales, 27% with first time claims. Nice job on that. Yep. Okay, let's do Aqueduct, and then since it's your track, and go ahead and talk about Aqueduct. I'll be right back.
Sure. Actually, if the prohibitive favorite here is Mazmac, draws the rail at 6-5, and the way I saw this race was that Mazmac looks like maybe the best horse in the race off that layoff from December of 23 to September of 24. 4 good races. So with the trainer change from Brad Cox to Dutrow, and I mean, Dutrow's barn's been on fire, but has had some nice races. A couple of wins as a favorite, going a mile. Last race had a bump start and lost to Ouster, and that was a good race by Ouster that day. But here's my concern. This horse has never gone the 1.125 miles, and the times it tried 2 turns at Oaklawn and Churchill, that was last year. That was a 3-year-old, so the horse has become a different animal since that time. So I would kind of discount that. But 1.125 miles to me is a question. Even though it's bred for the distance, until a horse does a specific thing, and you know, I don't want it as a favorite. As Harvey Pack would say, never bet a horse to do something it's never done before as the favorite. If this horse was 7-1, then it's an option, but no value horse trying the first time. Now, he could be the best horse. He could have no problem with the 1.125. So if that's the case, then I lose. But the horse that I was on here was the 4 Peak. I like that last race. We know the horse can handle the 1.125 miles. That was a weaker group. I do admit that. Optional 45 claimer, and it was kind of a slow pace, and this horse took advantage of being right on the lead. But you know, with Linda Rice off the claim, usually once she gets a horse going, you know, the horse stays in form. So off the claim at Keeneland, came to Aqueduct on a sloppy track, and you know, that's a tough race, a 92 allowance race against Skylander, Lock and Key, and got off bad and just never fired. Probably hated the sloppy track. Stretched out to 1.125 miles at almost 10-1. took advantage of a cozy inside post, was right up there on a lead on a very slow pace, and that's pretty typical of mile and an eighth races at Aqueduct, and won by a game effort by a head. And there was some pretty, it was a 3-horse field, though. That's the problem. But you can't control, the amount of horses in a field. And I did like that race, and I think this horse can get a little better off, Linda Rice off the claim. Like I said, once she gets a horse going, you want it moving up in class. So I'm on the 4 here, Scotty.
Okay.
4 over the 1. I don't trust the 1 going to mile and eighth. Could win for fun, but can't bet it as a favorite. Peak for Linda Rice.
They're going a mile and 8.
Yep.
They're in the gate. 6 horses in.
Yeah. 4 horses in for me.
4 horse gets the lead. But there's the 3 horses trying to get the lead as well. So 4 does get the lead though at 8-1. They had to work to get it. Right now, Peak at 8-1, your choice. In the lead by about a length over the 5-horse Magical Ways, who's 5-2, and pressuring. The 5-horse Magical Ways is getting actual pressure from on the outside from the 6-horse Duke of Gloucester, and the 1-horse, the favorite, is in between horses in about 5th right now, and Summer Cause, the 3 horses on the rail, and about 5 lengths back to the 2-horse. By the way, the 2-horse seems to have some horse right now, David. This horse is 11-1.
Yeah, that horse is an overlay at 11-1.
Well, the 3's out of it, but a wide open race. Favorite is, if he's going to win, he's struggling. I don't know. 5 Magical Ways seems to have a lot of horse. One gets to the outside. I'm coming. Favorite's going to catch the 4. 4 ran huge. One, 4, 2, David.
All right, that's the horse I like, so I did hit the exacta.
Nice.
The bottom line is that I can't just take a 4 to 5 trying to mile and eighth for the first time, but proved that he can handle it. But I don't want 4 to 5, so got the 8-1 shot in second, which works for me.
Let's look at Fairgrounds, and because, as you know, Justin's just been absolutely in fuego.
Yes.
This is what he has to say. This horse showed tactical speed in his debut and fits well against this questionable 15K claiming group. Mitchell Merle rides and connects with Rodriguez at a 20% clip over 50 mounts. And the horse is 8-5 on the E morning line, top EquinEdge pick. And if you throw out the last race on the rail, that was against Tougher. Rodriguez must have liked this horse off the claim if he puts the horse in that optional claimer, right?
We would think so.
Comes back to this level and is 5-2 right now. Great runner, the 5-horse. Not my type of horse. And the 4-horse Malibu Rain. This is a horse that needs the lead for its best. Is going to get the lead? Like, I don't think the 3 has a choice. I think the 3 has to go. But I don't know. We'll see. 6 is very fast on the outside, too. It might press the 4. And so 3 is going to have to sit the trip. The 1-horse Flying Houdini's getting back. What do you make of this?
I'm just taking a look, Scotty. And Justin's on the 3, correct?
He likes the 3 and the 4. I like the 3.
That 3 is going to be tough on a drop down.
And I think there's some cheap speed in here, which could set it up for the 5. So the 5's kind of growing on me a little bit. But
I mean,
that's a hard one to back. But I think I like the 3 and the 5.
Yeah, did have one question here, a horse that I'm looking at here that I might want to include if I was wagering on the race. I mean, you think this 2 can improve a third time off the layoff? I mean, it hadn't really since the layoff, since the comeback, hasn't at this level hasn't really lifted a hoof. But if you go back to last year, this horse won on a sloppy track at Fairgrounds, and looked a little better last year at a higher, well, at 12.5 a claim. Yeah, I thought the 2 might have a shot here to run well.
Yeah,
but I agree with you. 3
I like the 5. I like the 5 over the 3. I think there's a lot of cheap speed in here, and the 3 is going to probably fight for the lead early.
Yeah, 3, 4, and I'd try to get the 2 in there. I think the 2 may have a shot here to run better in the third race off the layoff. But good luck, everybody, if you decide to take action here.
Three got an easy lead. That's huge.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good luck catching the 3. Oh!
What happened?
The jockey fell off the horse. The 5 avoided it and is still going to win the race. Incredible. Wow.
Let me see here. Just watching it now.
Wow.
Oh, Jesus, the horse broke down. Oh, and then the 6 came off.
The job, hopefully everybody's okay. I think that might have been the 4 horse. But the job that the jockey did on the 5 was insane.
Yep.
James Graham, and still wins the race. Like, that was just insane. What a ride.
Yeah, that's downfall of horse racing when you see an incident like that, and hopefully everybody's okay. That was not good. Ouch.
Yeah. Yeah, there's that horse that horse is going to win the race too.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's Gulfstream.
All right, you want to go back to the qualifier?
Yeah, we're going to go back to Tampa race number 6.
Okay, Tampa race number 6. Okay, let me pull up my race number 6 at Tampa. All right, race number 6 at Tampa. We're going 7 furlongs, $10,000 claimer. Fillies and mares 4 and up, and we've got a scratch here. The 2's out.
2 is out.
Abby the Bulldog. Okay, the interesting thing here too is we have now it's a 7-horse field, and we have 2 trainers with a total of 4 horses. So we have Anthony Ferraro is got the 1 horse, New York bred, and also a New York bred on the 4 horse, Lady Quinn, who's won 2 races since being shipped down to Tampa. And I think I made a statement last week. I don't see Anthony Quinn winning with a lot of these shippers from Finger Lakes, but proven me wrong. So he's got 2 horses in here, and Pablo Torres has got the 5 and the 7. And so the way the race shapes up, I think, they're going 7. So now the 5 is obviously probably the post-time favorite, right? 5 of the 4, but I think, yep.
I think the 4 will be the favorite.
Okay, so either one of them, right? But as far as the 10 has never raced, the 4 raced at a lower level at 62.5, 5 to 62.5, now moving up to 10, which is a good sign. The horses in 4 are moving up. Why not? But yeah, I mean, going to face some pace pressure in here, and the 5 on the cutback to me is a must use. But I mean, this horse is a 7-year-old. You know, again, had the lead in the last race and tired. Had the lead the race before that and tired. You know, maybe this horse is getting a little long in the tooth there. So I think I'm going to contradict myself because the other 7-year-old trained by Pablo Torres is Lady Dominance, the 7 horse, and I really like that last race. This horse was flying at the end. To me, it was just some sort. I mean, it didn't seem it was that fast, but this horse just made a huge move, just missed by a neck, and also so beat the stablemate by what less than. Or, I apologize. This horse didn't win; was disqualified. Did just missed at second and was disqualified and placed 8th, 6th. So forget that. That horse did not or just missed, but was DQ'd. Drifted out. So the bottom line is that I think there's enough pace. I think the 7 can do it, another late closing kick again. Hopefully it doesn't run into that same problem drifting out, doesn't interfere with anybody. So I'm on the 7 here, Scotty. Lady Dominance, and I want the other half of the trainer's entrance is the 5. So it's 7 for me. Lady Dominance over the 5. In out, you're talking to me. How'd you see this race, Scotty?
It's the first time I'm looking at it.
Okay.
And the 4-horse Lady Quinn looks very tough back to back. I mean, This horse is in very good form right now, moving up in class, but it looks like this race didn't really come up all that strong. What about the 6 horse? I thought the 6 horse looked like your type of horse, no?
Well, had the lead in the last race and kind of tired. Now we've got
it's only 7% back. It's stretched out.
Mm-hmm.
This horse doesn't look to me anyways like this horse wants any part of going 2 turns.
I would agree with you.
Right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now cuts back.
And has won a race at the distance, 3 seconds. Yeah, no, it's a definitely usable horse in here. Definitely a contender. My concern would be the more second place finishes than first. 3 wins, 8 seconds. But the horse should be there.
Right.
On the cutback. Yeah. Closing on the cutback.
I think the issue I have is the fact that the trainer, Pablo Morales, has been on a couple of times. So the fact that he's on doesn't really sway me in either way. But
right.
The fact that the trainer claims the horse for 10,000 and feels like this horse wants 2 turns. I think this horse wants to sprint, and maybe he can get away with it. When you make that mistake, sometimes you pay the price for that. Show some speed to the stretch against similar, cuts back. I think the 6 is probably a player. Euro's Girl, the 1 horse, dropping in class here, but there's coming in from. How do you see these horses that come in from Finger Lakes, David?
Yeah, I had mentioned on a show a couple of weeks ago that I haven't seen a lot of success with these Finger Lakes shippers from Anthony Ferrara shipping down to Tampa. But Lady Quinn is the one that kind of contradicts that, because he did very well with Lady Quinn. Shipping down, but I guess at the proper level, I mean, this horse was facing 5,000 claimers at Finger Lakes, 11,000 claimers, and basically at 5,000, 62.5, probably competitive, and that's the concern I had with Lady Quinn moving up. Maybe 10,000 is a little too steep for this horse, but Ariel's Girl has been racing against a little better company at Finger Lakes, and also had more starts against better horses at Aqueduct. This horse is a contender. Tricky rail post 7, and I'm not sure this is a 7 furlong horse. Maybe 6 would be my preference. So it kind of faded this horse a little bit at 7 furlongs.
I'm going to take Lady Quinn, the 4.
Lady Quinn. Okay, I'm going to lock you in, Scotty, on the 4, Lady Quinn. I'm on the 7, Lady Dominance. Hey, how about the 2 Lady Exactas? Lady Dominance, Lady, and there you go.
Lady Quinn. Let's get the Exacta there.
Okay.
Let's go to Gulfstream Park, race number 4, real quickly.
Sure.
We got about 2 minutes before the race. We brought this race up a little bit. We talked about, you mentioned Megadon. You thought had a look. I thought the 1 horse was a good long shot. It's actually the top win percentage in EquinEdge, second pick. 7 horse Attestation is right now your 9-5 lukewarm favorite. Has no speed whatsoever, going 5 furlongs. It's just, I like the 7 a little bit, but that's just not a good place to be coming from that far back. And you have a wide post, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
It's, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I'm kind of liking the 6 horse Megadon a little bit.
Yeah, that's who I like here, Scotty.
Okay.
Dropping off, second race off a layoff, dropping from 17.5 to 12.5. Should be competitive here. The concern I have, again, it's another 5 furlong sprint on the Tapeta, and am I going to get wired here?
Yeah.
That's a concern.
The 1 horse could sit a nice strip on the rail for Lionel Reyes. The horse is training good. Dan got a note here. Looks stronger than partner. Handled the drill like a pro. That's a good note. Right?
Yeah, it really cuts back, though, from 1.16 to 5 furlongs. That's a big cutback.
Yeah.
And had a trouble start, broke badly, puts Lasix on. Has shown speed in the past. Yeah, no, this horse, I wouldn't talk you out of the using this horse. What's the current odds?
9-1. 28%
Yeah.
to win. EquinEdge second pick, right?
Yeah, that's a usable horse at 9-1, in my opinion.
You know, can I tell you, I don't know about you, but when I see races where I think the public's got it wrong, then to me, I'm looking for a long shot immediately.
Right.
Like the 7 horse, in no way it looks like now I know it's dropping for sure. It's not a good breaker. And it had trouble last time out. I watched this. I mean, the horse is going to finish, most likely be in the money. But this type of style almost never wins at 5 furlongs in the synthetic.
Right.
And probably that makes me like the EquinEdge long shot the most. But I like the EquinEdge picks, actually. I think that you're looking at 1, 4, 6, 7, something like that. But I like the. I almost would key the 7 horse like in the 3rd or 2nd spot. But 4 horse has every right to go Gates Wire. It's very, very fast.
Yes, and that's the concern going 5 furlongs. But yeah, I would. I think the
6,
one,
6
like I
horse,
said, the
6
one
horse is
shot
5 to
is going
1.
shot here.
6 is getting bet. The 1, this is actually a really fun race. I'm not playing it, but it's a very fun race.
If I was to play it, I would be on the 6 horse, Megadon.
Yeah. If I was playing it, I would probably be on the 4 to go Gate to Wire.
Race 4 starts the Rainbow
luck,
6.
everybody.
They're all in line. And they're off. Slow break, Lieutenant Severini. Quick start, Red Candy Apple, who fires to a clear lead. He leads by a length and a half early on. Down at the rail, it's R. Arman, who tries to guard that spot and race toward the top. Out in the middle, Megadon, red blinkers. He has some speed, and between horses, gonna pick Dominic. Right into that second cluster, Fastidious. Then Attestation, and the long trailer is Lieutenant Severini. The loose leader is Red Candy Apple. 5/16 from home, Red Candy Apple leads by a length and a half. Megadon is second, R. Arman third at the inside. Up to 4th Attestation, dropping back is Fastidious. At the rail, gonna pick Dominic as they reach a 1/4 mile from home. The leader is Red Candy Apple. Gonzalez holds him together up top. Mirage getting started on the far outside with Attestation. Megadon is in the middle. Art Arman is along the rail. They're an 1/8 of a mile from home. Red Candy Apple asked to respond. He responds.
Not going to catch the 4 to 5 shot. Going 5.
Attestation is second from Megadon in third. Art Arman is 4th. All aboard, Red Candy Apple. He won Gate to Wire.
There's your speed.
Second,
4 to 5, wire in the
Megadon,
field at
4th
5 again.
Yep.
4, 7, 6.
In 57-1.
You just don't come from behind. You know.
Mm-hmm.
There's another EquinEdge.
It's very difficult though. Yep.
How about the EquinEdge long shot? 8-1 on the odds makers morning line, and goes off as your 4 to 5 favorite. It was 26% to win. Huge pace number advantage. Do you see that? 66 over 37.
Right. And I think part of the issue was the 5 iron sword being scratched because that was your other speed. So once that 5 got scratched, the 4 became, obviously the lone speed.
Yeah. Yeah. It's really tough to come from behind like that. When you have no speed.
Yeah. Especially when there's nobody pressing the 4 horse on the front end.
Exactly. That just makes it super, super tough. And yeah, 4 horse, another EquinEdge long shot winning the race. Okay. The qualifier starts in the next race at Gulfstream Park, so we have to fly. So
Yes,
I have not done a very good job of producing here, and I apologize ahead of time. Okay.
It's okay. We'll forgive you, Scotty.
Okay. Let's go. I just thought it's kind of nice to mix in some of these races. That's all.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So Aqueduct race number 5. What are your thoughts?
Aqueduct race number 5. Okay. You switched on me here. I thought we're going to. All right. If you pull up the 2 horses, the horse I like, and let me just pull up my notes. If you pull up
Kahala,
has
won 2 races at the distance and has the potential to wake up in here if willing to throw out the last effort.
Yeah, so the last effort, this horse veered out at the break off the layoff. And this is Katie Davis coming back for Engleharts. And usually Engleharts have any of the Engleharts have their horses ready off layoffs. So to me, that is a total throwout race. This horse drops from 40,000 down to 15 and has won 2 races at the distance. It's a tough competitive race. You could probably go 5 deep in here, but I thought this was the horse that I think you may get at least 4 to 1. You may get 5, and I think this horse is live if you throw out that race coming back off that layoff second race, and should be tough here.
What do you make of a horse like the 1 horse? This horse has only got 5 wins in 58 races, David, but is 5 to 2 on the EE morning line. Throughout the last race, going 10 furlongs. It didn't like the distance. Most horses don't. And then it had trouble in its race before that. And the race before that going the same surface and distance, so same conditions, and ran really good. Doesn't really have any speed. 8-year-old gelding. More for a minor spot? What do you think?
Well, yeah, probably finished 3rd. If you look at it, 58 lifetime starts, 5 wins, 7 seconds, 19 thirds. This horse doesn't have seconditis. This horse has thirditis. And it's 8-year-old horse getting long in the tooth. Now, in its defense, you can totally throw out that 1.25 mile race back on January 19th. That's a weird distance to run these claimers at. Most of them don't even want to go 1 mile and 1/8. So that's a total throw out from an outside post. So, I mean, if Franco picks up the mount, Katie Davis goes to Kahala. I mean, a tricky inside post at the distance, though. So I would say that, I would use this horse for 3rd. And,
it is dropping in class.
It's dropping in class. Yep. But it had race for 12.5.
19 third place finishes.
That's what I said. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Wow. I don't think I've ever seen that stat before. The horse was 58 races, 5 first, 7 seconds, and 19 third place finishes. That's yeah. I mean, if you don't play that,
what you do is
that's a horse you got to put for 3rd for sure.
Yeah, you play triples and use him in 3rd with your combinations, and don't use him in 2nd. So so I'm on Kahala. I thought Majestic Frontier had a big shot, but dropping off 25 to 15, but really has no speed. I think Kahala's got a little more positional speed. Venge, is usable, but you got to show me that this horse can win back to back. This is a former Bobby Robato horse, and dropped down to the proper level with this new trainer. But I don't see this horse got a clear, easy lead last time out. I don't see it again.
David, real quickly, in the on the 3 horse race. Look at this. The EquinEdge long shot was 3 to 2 on the EE morning line in the opener at Oakland Park. 3 to 2.
Wow.
And won that race. And race number 2, I guess the 3 horse Delphia just won. That horse went off at 9 to 2, top pace number. And Oldie put a note on this horse. He liked it. Yeah, he liked this horse. Very dangerous in this. Oldie, listen, if you ever see Oldie put a note that says the Scotty long shot or anything is very dangerous in this spot or this horse, go to the window.
There you go.
He's so conservative, right? It's like, this horse in this situation wins this percentage time, but I don't think I've ever seen him put a note like this. I'm like, yeah, okay. I wish I would have seen that note. I wish I would have
seen that note also.
I would bet it. Yeah. Oldie wants to make sure he doesn't want to lead anybody in the wrong direction. He's got the right mindset for sure. But like I said, he probably didn't even realize he put a note like this that was so positive. But right,
couldn't resist.
Yeah. No,
he was getting all revved up, and I love this horse.
I would have put everything in my account if I would have seen this note.
Yeah, I would have put everything in your account also on that horse too.
Yes, you would have.
Let me have access to it.
All right, Tampa Bay Downs. No, we were at Aqueduct race number 5. Let's go back there. So you're going with the 2, correct?
Going with the 2 for Chris Englehart and Katie Davis. But it's a very competitive race. Like I said, you can go 5 deep here, and I wouldn't argue with you.
Venge, the 5 horse, is the top EquinEdge pick. This horse is in really good form, and it's got a really big pace advantage, David. Big. I mean, that's a big, 26-point pace advantage.
Yeah, you got to show me. This horse is coming out of cheap races at Finger Lakes. That was a $10,000 claimer. Got a clear lead from the inside post, probably a speed favoring day. Don't recall January 2nd. I was actually in transit that day. Then moves up. You'd have to show me. I don't think this horse is going to go back to back here.
I'm on it.
You're on
it. Okay. Yeah, I'm on the 5. I think this horse looks great. Okay.
It's going to be 2-1, 2-5-1 to the wire, Scotty.
Okay. Aqueduct race number 6.
Okay, 6. We got to get moving here. So Scotty on the 5. I'm on the 2. All right. So 6th race at the Big A. We've got a 25,000 non-winners of 2 lifetime, and some of these non-winners of 2 lifetime, you'll see a lot of horses with 1 for a lot of races. But now this is limited to 3-year-old fillies. So we have horses that have a limited amount of starts here. The horse with the most starts is the one I don't like, is My Vanilla. And that was the issue. I'm like, why is that horse not on the top 3 picks on EquinEdge? It's like, well, this horse looks like a contender, but had 7 starts and just doesn't look like after that Laurel 5.5 for a long race. He's struggling. Delaware again, Penn National, coming back to Aqueduct. I don't like this horse. I narrowed this down, Scotty, to 2 horses here, either the 4 or the 6. And at this point, I am going with the 4. Carol Said No for Tom Morley. Manny Franco stays with this horse. 2 back off a layoff. This horse won at a maiden 30. And then first time facing winners in this condition, moving up, none was a 2 lifetime. Blinkers on, Lasix on as a new 3-year-old. And I got wired by Not My Stepping Stone, the Bruce Levine horse. And that horse just got out to a clear lead, and no one really made a move. This horse, needed a little pace up front, wasn't close enough to the pace. But I think you may have a little more pace today. And this horse looks really tough to me to leave out. So I'm going to put this horse on top. Carol Said No. And the other horse I like, first time off the claim, is the 6 No Factor. But Koa is so cold, 1 for 31 at this meet, that I'm a little reluctant. However, it comes out of a stakes race at Finger Lakes. So primary pick for me, Scotty, Carol Said No, the 4. I'm going to, if I had 2 tickets, the second pick would be 6 No Factor, 4-6.
All right. You don't like the 5?
Gaga's Handsome, not at 9-5. No. I mean, this horse is, to me, is just the only the race this horse has won, Scotty, was on a sloppy track, and it looks like its second best race is on another sloppy track, but did have a second on a fast track. No, I prefer Carol Said No or the 6, and I don't like that morning line 9-5.
I mean, the race before that won pretty easily against a 48 group in the optional claiming. And whereas Carol Said No barely won, well, it won by a length and a quarter in a 30,000 maiden claimer. So as far as the horses and how they did coming out of their maiden races or the maiden races, the 5 would have that advantage. Then the 4 goes in a non-winners of 2 lifetime. He gets a nice 3rd place finish against a little bit better, whereas the 5 horse went into 50,000 optional claiming and didn't run a lick.
Right, but that was stretching out to a mile, so maybe it was
stretching out to a mile.
Right. So cutting back, maybe you're right. Maybe this horse has.
You would look at the horse wants to sprint. You can see that.
Right.
Yeah, I got to go with the 5. That was my gut. I got to go with the 5.
Gugus Handsome. I'm on the 4. Carol said no.
I think the race between those 2 horses personally. All right, so now we have to do Tampa Bay race number 7, 8, and 9.
And that's it.
That's it. And we have.
And we don't have much time, do we? How much?
20 minutes. We're okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we're okay. Okay, so 7th race at Tampa. We got going a mile and 70 yards, $8,000 claimer for Florida breds. Nope. 4 and up. Mile and 40 yards. All right, so we have these. Let's see who the speed is in honor of the 2 horse, honor of Artie, and we have a scratch, right? The 6 is out.
6 is out.
6 is out. Uncaptured boy. Okay, so it looks like we've got a couple of horses on the front end here. I'm going to cut to the chase, so because we have a limited amount of time here, but I originally looked at the 2 wiring this field, but I'm just not sold on this horse. The last 2 races are decent. Dropping into this, coming into Tampa, but it has 1 a race at Tampa, 2 at the distance. But I'm just not sure that this horse wants to really go this far. So I'm settling on the 7 here, Ronick, the first time off the claim for Kathy Guardado. The barn is on fire. 4 wins out of 15 starts at this meet. 3rd off the layoff, just missed closing at 7 furlongs last time out as the big favorite. Claimed, stretches out. This horse has stretched out before and won. Has never won at Tampa, but I think based on that last race, closing and the 3rd race may improve with the 2 races under his belt. So I'm going to take a shot with this 7 horse here, Scotty, Ronick, and I think this is you could go 3 or 4 or 5 deep here as a contentious race.
David, are you off your meds?
I am. No, I'm on my meds actually. So are you trying to insinuate you don't like my horse at all? Is that why?
No. The EquinEdge top pick is off the meds. So
I see that. Yes. Okay, well, I've got I got the EquinEdge 2nd pick. I'm going with the Ronick.
All right.
Ronick.
Well, I was thinking about going with the EquinEdge long shot. This horse was facing better horses 2 races back, and then even facing better horses last time out, and continues on his descent. And he had trouble in the last start. So now drops. The win percentage goes up. In what appears to be a tough race, the 7 horse has a big win percentage and looks okay, no doubt about it. But 7 furlongs is a big difference from 8 and 3/16. It's not the same. And the trainer really on the 7 horse is not really known for his claims. The 8 horse off the meds drops, is wide. Didn't run a bad race last time out, actually, facing a little bit easier here. But the win percentage drops. So this is all leading me to believe that this race might be just wide open. You had talked about maybe using the 2 horse. And the difference here is the 2 horse might get the lead in this race where it couldn't last time out. And that could be the difference. And then Frosty Soldier on the drop in class, just a much easier group. I don't know. There's definitely have the 4 horse looks like it could be a play. In honor of Artie is a horse that when it clears, especially at this level, like it did 5 back, it could be tough going gate to wire. It gets 111 pounds as well. It only has 5 wins, though. I mean, definitely isn't the type of horse I normally would play, especially with 59 starts,
Right. I think, and also the 7 horse, Ronick, stretching out. off that 7 furlongs race is going to be right up there on the pace, chasing this 2 and probably taking over for that horse. And as long as they don't get into a speed duel, they can set up for the 5 or the 8.
Break the Ice has got a nice win percentage. What do you think of this one for Kathleen O'Connell?
Hey, the way Kathleen O'Connell, her horse has been running, I wouldn't tell you to leave it out, and will be the closer in a race. So yeah, it's obviously must use, but yeah, you're gonna get 5-2 is a little light, but obviously contender.
Right. I don't like the 3. I mean, this is a wide open race, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely.
I'm not choosing the 3.
Okay, so yep.
What about you know what? I think I'm going to take a chance with the EquinEdge long shot. Frosty the Soldier.
With Frosty the Soldier.
Yeah.
Hey, the way the EquinEdge long shot's been going today, that's probably a good selection, Scotty.
Right? I think so. So, okay, Tampa Bay race number 8.
Race number 8 at Tampa Bay. We got 7 furlongs.
What's up, Jay?
Optional claim. Hey, Jay.
All right, let's run this thing.
All right, so out of all the races, I made all the qualifying races, Scotty. I made all my picks in advance this morning on the website. And this one I left blank until the last possible minute because I thought this was by far the most contentious race of the day. So I really struggled here coming up with a horse. And I said, you're dealing with 3-year-olds here. It's at 7 furlongs. It seems to be a ton of speed. It looks like maybe 3 or 4 horses could want to go to the lead here. I didn't know who was going to be on top. I mean, the pace metric is favoring the is it the 9? The 2 seems to have the most.
The 3 is going to be on the lead. Yeah,
3, 2, 9. But there's other pace in here. The 12 is fast. And we have this.
It does draw that outside, though. I mean,
yeah, you gotta have to rush up. Is it gonna press? Could it stalk? Then I started going through it. I'm like, it just seems to be so much speed here. Give me a closer. So I'm looking at who is the closers in here, and I just decided, hey, I'm helping for a total pace meltdown in here. And looking for a horse who can close, and maybe someone who is a little, is a long shot, a moderately priced horse that I can get a number here. And I settled on a horse that I don't have a lot of confidence in, but I'd have to get a pace meltdown to get this horse home. And that's the 20-1 morning line, Juan Colorado. I mean, this horse in his second start at maiden 25, 5.5 furlongs, did close, was a little close to the pace, but with all these speed balls in here, I think this horse has no other choice but to sit off the pace. And if you get a meltdown, this horse may be rallying with a clear path on the outside. Not sure he can get there. You can throw that last stakes race out. The horse was overmatched. So give me Juan Colorado as my long shot of the day here, the 11 horse at Tampa Bay.
First glance, Cajun Venom is being protected here. Ran a good race last time out. First time against winners off a layoff. That's not easy to do and win, especially going 7 furlongs. Seems to be doing good. And Greg Sacco is 13% second off the layoff, and our second race back, and then 8% with second race with the horse. Looks okay. The EquinEdge long shot, My Lucky Angel, broke its maiden last time out. Only against 5 other horses was 34% to do that, but it ends up as the EquinEdge long shot. And in what appears to be a wide open race, if you look at it, like if the 2 doesn't run, then I mean, it looks like a grab bag. Mr. Squeaky Wheels, who's a price play 9-2 on the EE morning line and has the top SOR, so it's been facing the toughest horses. What about this dropper?
Mr. Squeaky Wheels. I mean this horse will have be running late, and it's definitely usable if you're looking for a closer.
I mean, it's a big drop.
Oh yeah, definitely a big shot. I decided to go with the outside long shot there, with the outside post, but yeah, and the cut back there, yeah, definitely got a shot. Kevin Rice, good trainer.
Right. Yep. 12 seems to need the lead, and 12 is not going to get the lead. 3 is just too fast.
Hey, and Mr. Squeaky Wheels ran in the Stanford last year at Saratoga as a 2-year-old, grade 3, and finished a decent 4th.
Yeah.
It's a huge drop down. Yeah. Now, off those last 2 races, are they dropping it just because his horse, is it the proper level, or are they just trying to get rid of the horse? Is it protected today? No.
It's not protected.
Not optional.
No.
Yeah.
Not protected.
It is an optional, but not protected. Yeah. It's a suspicious drop, but again, with the race full of speed and him being a closer, he just might fall into a perfect race setup here. Yeah, it's definitely a usable horse.
And then what about the one horse? Is 6-1 on the EE morning line? Like, this horse ran against better last time out. Arguably, it was on the synthetic, right? To closer. It looks like somebody. To me, this race looks like somebody is closing at a price. That's what it looks like to me.
We were on the same page exactly.
Yeah.
Now, this horse will be closing at a price. However, I'm not sure this horse is going to like the dirt, and you'll get a price to find out. So it's a perspective of, you're going to get value, but there's a lot of question marks here. But yeah, it's going to be a nice. Either way, it's going to be a nice price horse.
What about the 9 horse running by you? This one seems to be a good long shot. Second off the layoff, didn't run a bad race. Blinkers first time last time.
It closed back on September 1st, but had the lead last time out. Maybe with blinkers, but yeah, blinkers on, star guitar. Yeah, contender, but may get involved in a pace, contentious pace, and be too close to the pace here, maybe.
Yeah.
But again,
you've got a live long shot here for sure in that line.
Thank you, sir.
Absolutely. I mean, I agree with you. Like, I'm looking at this thing going, I mean, this horse is going to be finishing. I think the 8 horse is going to be finishing as well.
All right. Yeah, the 11 seemed like a good NHC horse for me, and I have another one in the next race. I'm like, yeah, you know what? What the hell? It's getting towards the later stages of the tour. Let me end the day with 2 long shots here, and maybe I can ice the field with a cap horse or 2 late. Why not?
So I'm just going to take the EquinEdge long shot. I don't have a strong opinion, so the 8 is one of the ones that I liked. I thought that, the EquinEdge long shot could have taken the 10 horse at Pizza Time, and it didn't, so I'm not going there. I know it's got a good win percentage, but I can't go there.
And got a big shot too. Like I said, this to me was by far the most contentious and inscrutable race of the entire day. So whichever we go, good luck. I figured this is the race. To me, this is an NHC race that could yield a long shot. So that's the direction I went.
Okay, we got what's up, Jen Ochoa?
Hey, Jen.
Been part of the EquinEdge community for a long time. The 12 horse Patrick just seems to need the lead. It's very fast. It's got that wide post. It's 25-1 EE morning line. That's crazy.
Yeah, I couldn't figure that out. And it's for a trainer who's absolutely on fire. 6 for 11 at this meet, and now stretched out to turf and didn't fire. But I mean, that first debut race at 5.5 was pretty impressive.
Look at this. Tampa's been on fire, David. Jen just said that this top EquinEdge pick went off at 9-2 Mungo and won the race. Like, it's absolutely. Look at this. The EquinEdge long shot. EquinEdge long shot, 30 and 23 bucks. EquinEdge long shot won the first 3 races at Tampa. Wait. What? The first 4 races at Tampa. The EquinEdge long shot won.
Yep. But what are we doing? We should have just been playing the EquinEdge long shots, and
that is insane.
That's a great day for EquinEdge. Yeah.
Wow, look at that. And then the EquinEdge top pick wins race number 5. That is just insane. And look at the EquinEdge picture, just a small part of the site. Like, that's pretty amazing. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, Jen had them all.
You're
you're
right. Congrats, Jen. Doing
all right,
better than us.
Uno mas. Tampa race number 9. Who did you have in race number 8? You had the 11. I had the 8. Okay.
The 11. Juan, Colorado, the 20-1 morning line with.
Okay. We have 7-8 minutes before this is going to go off.
Now we do have a bunch of scratches here, correct? And do we have one scratch in the 9?
One scratch of the 9. Yeah.
The 9. Okay.
Yep.
Another race. We've got a 5 furlong turf race. This closes out the qualifiers, correct? And I thought there were a couple of vulnerable horses here, in my opinion, that were somewhat low prices, and that's the 1 Big Ziog and the 3 Jataros, 5-2 morning and 2-1 morning. So I'm going to fade something horses like that. I thought Gritana had a shot here off that last dueled in the last race, may sit a better trip here from off the pace. But I thought this was another wide open race. I was going to make a case for the 10 Max's map, but I'm going out, Scotty. If I'm going to go out in one of the last races here, I'm going out at Tampa with back-to-back long shots. Why not? I feel a little, I want to blast off here and try to get some tour points. And we've seen sometimes in races this cheap that some horse will win that doesn't make any sense. Not saying this horse doesn't make any sense, but I'm going with the I went with the 20-1 shot the race before. I'm going with a 30-1 shot here in Putman. Okay. The only angle is second off a layoff, ran an even 6th last time out. I know that's the best I can do, but if you go back, this horse has got to prove that it can run on the turf, right? We've had, 2 wins out of 24 starts on the turf. I just think that this race, to me, cried out for another long shot. And these 5 furlong races at Tampa, I don't play a lot of them, but the races I've watched, I see closers a lot of the cases, but I don't understand it. And I think I've seen some crazy horses that you couldn't even make on paper. So why not? I mean, I don't know how that turf course plays. I think it's a little quirky. So give me the long shot Putnam in the last race at Tampa Bay. And hopefully this cap horse or some 18-1 shot or 15-1 shot puts me into the top 10%.
I hope so. I don't hate that horse, by the way.
Really?
No, I don't hate that horse. You hit with these types of horses all the time, so I don't hate this horse. The horse has been running on the synthetic. It's run 5 furlongs on the turf before. Yeah.
I mean, it's unlikely. It's a 1% win. But I've seen horses like that win before at Tampa going 5 furlongs. So, and again, we're dealing with a NHC contest. Even if this horse closed up and got a second, you're getting a really good price at the end of the contest.
Kathleen O'Connell, I've seen her. We've seen her with at least 4 new horses. She must be getting a lot of new horses. I mean, she's been on fire, but she's getting new stock. Good for her. Mm-hmm. I'm happy for Kathleen. Here's another one. True Spun, the 2 horse, and this GSR goes up 64 points. I mean, this horse wants to sprint. It doesn't matter the surface it doesn't look like. It just wants to sprint. So, but Midnight Spun faced much tougher last time out and showed speed all the way to the stretch and really, faded late, but I'm sure they let off the gas late. This one certainly deserves a long look. Hasn't been seen for a while, but the knowing Kathleen, like this 29 of 147, that's a nice work for her. So 27 of 78. I would say this horse is training pretty good for Kathleen. And I hate that it's only 4%, but it's 7-1 morning line. And I also think the 3 is taking so much money that maybe if you don't like the 3, then don't worry about the win percentage in the race, because even the 6 horse looks just okay to me. It looks like one of the ones. It looks like a wide open race, like you're saying.
Right.
But what do you think of the 2-horse?
Well, when I first looked at this, Scotty, I thought I was under the impression that the 1, 2, and 3 could just get into a crazy, speed duel here, and that's why I figured let me look for somebody who's a closer, and that's a price. And but I also think the 10 cutting back may be that closer too. So I was also giving strong consideration to Max's map here, who may be he probably is Putnam may be a little cheaper here than Max's map, but I wasn't sure that Max's map really wants to go 5 furlongs, but with the speed up front, maybe flying late.
All right, well, I'm going with the EquinEdge long shot again. I mean, this thing is just ridiculous today, so that's what I'm going with. All right.
All right. Yep. Thanks, Chris. Let me put a little cheese into that bet, and I just ate a piece of Monterey Jack cheese. So let's go. Cheesy cheese. I don't want to get too cheesy.
Let's see here. Okay, and
Yeah, thanks for that reminder, Chris. I get wrapped up in the show, and I've missed bets in the past that have won. Hopefully, if I miss bet, it loses. But let's see here.
So you're on cheese, and
I'm on cheese.
I'm on the Beach Goes On, the 1-horse, and since it's the first race, I reserve my right to change my mind. The 9-horse La Cantera, the Irish bred. Do you going a mile? It's had 2 straight layoff lines in a row. Dan put a positive note, breezed easily, so it's doing really well. Tyler jumps aboard for Safi Joseph. He's been cold so far today. You can't really shut him out for too long. Should we be looking at the 9-horse? The 11 draws wide. We don't like that post for the 11.
Funny you say that, my friend. I just put in a wager on cheese and played a $2 an exacta box 2-9. There you go. So yes, okay. I do like the 9. Trying to beat that 11 at that outside post. And I give your horse a little love there, Scotty. I also put a 2-9-1 triple in there for you. Let's go cheese. I think we got a lot of cheese fans here today.
Very wide open races here.
So
we saw some races. Let's go cheese. Mike's on cheese. Goldie got his single home in race number 3, I think, at Oakland Park.
I was hoping cheese would have run at Aqueduct so I could put a note in and say, this horse looks good today, and with the right setup, I'll be right in the lead. And you will visit the winner's circle and say cheese to the cameraman. There you go.
Looks like we are on fire. Oldie had a note on the 8-horse. Win percentage increasing significantly, indicating horses likely to run very well in this race. The horse wins more than 50% of the time in this scenario. Wow, he got the single home too. So, wow, Oldie on fire.
Oldie, good job, man.
EquinEdge second pick. EquinEdge long shot won the first couple of. EquinEdge long shot is winning more than the win percentage is winning today.
And in retrospect, maybe we should just have stayed on those EquinEdge long shots all day.
I used a lot of them later. Yeah, I used a lot of them. Who's getting extra play here? That's big odds. The 9-horse, the Beach Goes On. That one seems live. You know, I can't say that this one can't run a good race. Look what it's done the last couple of races. So, you know.
Oh, yeah. No shot. Yeah, but from this post here going a mile on this turf course, that 11 post, it comes up, the turn comes up pretty cool.
Immediately. Impossible.
Yeah, but I guess also the 11's not a speed horse, so I read it's going to probably just settle this horse, weave him in, get a good position. But that might help the cheese go wire to wire here from a nice, cozy 2 post.
I still don't like the I know it was on the synthetic, but I don't like the money it burned last time out. I don't like it. I think you're going to see the 9-horse run a good race. I'm actually going to go with the 9. I'm going to change up.
Okay, going with the 9.
I mean, that horse I just feel is going to run a big race. I'm going to go with that.
Okay.
All right. I'm changing up. The 1 wins, then it happens to the best of us. But yeah, I think the 9 looks really tough.
Okay, they're loading in. I get to watch the race in real time with you guys. It's
Yeah.
a pleasure for a change. That
Moving in
Gulfstream will
for a
let us
start,
show
race
it
number
live.
5, late pick 5. It starts right here. Bella Veneno is 7-5. 5-2, La Cantera.
It's a good race. Good luck, everybody. Really competitive, challenging race here. Should be fun.
Bella Veneno going forward.
Good luck, everybody. This is race 5 from Gulfstream Park. This starts the qualifiers.
Tijuana to the outside.
I think the thing to watch is where the 11 ends up at the beginning of the race.
Right. It's going to probably veer over.
And they're off. In the middle, it's Mia Vida who gets the first call. Moving out the rail, the beach goes on, has speed. Up between horses is Zozachero, who's not far away, trying to get over from an outside gate is the race favorite Bella Veneno. Joining the top flight is La Cantera, but she'll be at least 4 wide. Nashville Slew is headstrong between horses. In the run around the first turn, Luis Saez and the beach goes on. Lead by a length and a quarter. Mia Vida now second. Nashville Slew fighting the rating. She's now third. Up on the outside, La Cantera is there fourth. On her back is race favorite Bella Veneno. She's only 2 lengths off the lead here. Then back between.
I tell you what, I didn't expect the 11 to be that close. Did you?
3 wide is Mitra Guenya. Then it's a length.
Look at that. The 11's in fourth right now.
Together with Zozachera. Shidu Kitten is 3 wide. She's second last here. The trailer is Tavria, and the leader is still the beach goes on. The beach goes on, heads down the back stretch in front by a length and a quarter through a 48 1/2 mile. Via Vita second, La Cantera third, Nashville Slew fourth. Bella Veneno is now racing in fifth from Cam's Princess, who's along the rail. Mitra Guana is next, dropping back after checking hard.
But jeez, is just out.
For a turn. The beach goes on, has the lead. Yellow Cap, La Cantera, getting started on the outside, getting ready to launch off her back is race favorite Bella Veneno, trying to wind it up from the back. Mitra Guana as they're at the top of the stretch. Toward the inside, the beach goes on. In the middle, La Cantera, outside Bella Veneno. Fourth is Nashville Slew. They're 1/8 of a mile from home. Bella Veneno trying to get in a touch, but now she's straightened up a bit. She's up front. The beach goes on is back to second, but
what a great ride.
Bella Veneno on top.
One ran
perfect ride from an outside post. That's Irad. Yep.
Well, look at
doesn't make many mistakes. Wow. Yes, Chris, I'm breaking up with cheese. I'm going to go dairy free from now on. That's it. I'm divorced from that horse. Gave it a shot at 10-1. String cheese incident.
One did run good at 9-1, so that was a bad move on my part. That's 2 I changed today that went in the wrong direction for me. 9 was right there. The 9 was a bit ranked the entire time. Did you notice that?
Yeah, no, I did see that. Yeah. Had a kind of a strange trip there. But it's always, I never like to make that move going from a 9-1 to a lower priced horse. I usually go in the reverse direction, and sometimes that'll burn you too. But the one, I mean, Luis Saez wants to be on the lead, right? So that was a good ride by just zipping up to the lead like that.
Who did you like at Aqueduct race number 4? They're going into the gate. Just who you liked, real quickly.
Yeah, sure. Let me just pull that up there. I don't know if anybody. Okay, I don't love the race, but I would have used the 6 Macville, the EquinEdge top pick with Linda Rice, second time off the claim, off the layoff. I just thought there was a lot of spotty horses in here. This horse has been racing against some much better competition. Not the greatest race here.
Outside, the 8 breaks good. 4 is fighting for the lead right now. Looks like the 8's going to just sit off of the 4. 6 is in between horses. And the 4 ended up being your lukewarm top pick. 6 official. No, the 4 is officially the favorite. 9-5 on both the 4 and the 6. The 6 is in second right now.
Yeah, Ford looks like he got an easy lead, right?
Yeah, I did. It has a lot of horse as well. Good luck catching this 4.
Some weird noises going on outside the condo here. What's going on?
Very close for second between the 5 and the 8, but the 5 is going to hold off the 8. 4, 5, 8 is going to be the order of finish here at Aqueduct.
Yeah, wire to wire, got the horse an easy lead, and the game was over.
And the picks were 6, 4, 5. So the 4 was the EquinEdge second pick. Went off at 9-5 favorite, lukewarm. And the 5 horse was the EquinEdge long shot. David, how's that?
How about that?
I'm just playing the rest of the day. The
Yeah.
EquinEdge long shot is going to be in the money for me.
Yeah,
No
yeah.
matter
I
what.
think I'm going to do the same thing with my real money here.
Yeah.
I don't do well in the qualifier. At least maybe bring it home with some real cashola.
All right. There's a note here at Fairgrounds for Justin, who said a player here on the front end sprinting on the turf. The 2 horse. Does the 2 horse get the lead? Yeah, the 2 horse is going to have the lead. And it's also the EquinEdge long shot. We've seen this play out before. Now, look at the monster GSR in the 3. Okay. But the thing about it is, let's see here. Well, he's well positioned in this wide open. Let's field. Jose Ortiz is aboard. That's a massive GSR. That being said, I know the breeding is amazing, but something's telling me that maybe they expected this horse to be a lot better than what it is. That's going to be my guess. The top EquinEdge pick right now is 9-2 E more in line, 19%, and the horse getting no love whatsoever. Dead on the board.
And Scotty, this race remains on the turf, correct? I've seen so many races come off at Fairgrounds. Okay.
Yeah. And it's there's an old saying: speed kills speed. 4 is fast and 6 is fast, but the 2 is the fastest. And if for whatever reason they keep up and they duel with the 4, then the first time starter, the 3 is closing, who's the favorite. The 8 is closing.
The 3's the favorite. The Tom's the top. First time on turf, or out of Smart Strike.
Yeah, I mean, first time. The 6 horse Crooked Bullet, I think, can rate some. It's 6-1. It looks bad on paper, but second off the way off for Eric Schur. And I won't be surprised if this horse actually runs a decent race.
What's wrong with this 5, Valley of Fire? What's the GSR on that horse for turf, Scotty? The 5?
It's okay. It's
Jimmy Creed.
It looks like it can run on any surface, but it looks like it's better longer.
Yeah, I mean, first start was on a muddy track that was intended for the turf. So, and showed a little speed and just packed it in. Maybe going to the turf today, this horse will be better on the turf. Yeah, I'd probably take a shot. What's the current odds here on that 5? Nice price. Yeah, I'd take a shot with the 5. And to me, it's all about value. I don't love the race, don't love the horse, but and this would be a typical NHC play for me, taking 10-1 shot in a field like this. So yeah, I'd take a little shot with the 5 here. Valley of Fire, first time on the turf for Gregory Foley. I've had success with him in the past. Excuse me.
I'm going to guess that the 3 horse, the first time starter, is probably the real deal today.
Who's got the highest GSR? Because
that 3 by far.
Tom's the tot, right, on a turf.
Yeah. Yep.
The Tom's the tot. I don't think he ever ran on a turf. It's probably the Dam, right?
No, the Dam didn't do much on the turf either. The Dam wasn't much, to be fair. Look at this race. I mean, it looks like a wide open race, but at 4-1, the EquinEdge long shot on the lead looks like a good play. It's a sprinter. Loveberry stays aboard.
Right. And also, so the interesting thing in here, the 2 Come On Pop was in the same race with the 5 Valley of Fire in their debut races. So the race was carded originally on the turf and scratched off to a muddy track.
Yeah.
Come On Pop was 8.5 to 1, and Valley of Fire was 9 to 1. So there's not much separating them there. So with that case, in that case, I'm taking the 5 better price, Valley of Fire. Maybe I'll just do a 2-5 exact the box here if I was doing it.
I have a feeling the first time starter is going to be very, very tough. But I'm just doing an exact the box 2, 3, 6 guys. That's what I'm doing.
And I'm going to do an exact the box 2-5 with a little bit of 5 on top and a win spot as a win wager.
I'm hoping to see the 2 horse on the lead.
With the 5 stalking, 14 to 1 on the 5. I mean, that's too good for me to pass up at this point.
Ugh.
All right, they loading in here.
2 broke slow. That's your horse, David. Valley of Fire.
They still haven't. Oh, they're off now.
3 horses on the rail. It doesn't really look comfortable. It's being prodded by Jose to stay up.
Yeah, 14 to 1 down to 7 to 1.
The 5 is running beautifully. Somebody's flying on the outside. Not sure who that is. It's going to be tough to catch this 5, right? Come on, 5. Hold up for David.
Did they catch him yet?
No, 5's in the lead. 3's coming. 3's going to catch him.
Yeah, as long as he finishes second.
Jose Ortiz gave the horse a perfect ride, but good call, though. 3-5, either 8 or 9 for third, but great call.
Yeah, he's lasting a long time, I see. Yeah, they wore him down. He ran a good race, though.
Wore him down. Well, why don't we finish off with Tampa Bay race number 6?
Sure. That
Okay.
was one of the qualifiers. We might as well watch that race, and then we'll depart. Then I can head to the pool and watch my races on the phone.
Sounds
and then
good.
Say, hey, Scotty, congratulations on winning that qualifier today. Good job.
Would have been a lot better for me if I would have kept my 1 in there. That's twice.
Yeah.
When you're struggling, and I'm struggling a bit right now, when you're struggling, that you do stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, hopefully you just keep it and you just hope that it turns, and I know better.
All right, so I have the 7 in here, Lady Dominance, and you're on the 4, Lady Quinn.
Yeah.
All right, I just put the 2 Lady Exacta box in. 4-7, Lady Quinn over Lady Dominance. Box them. We can't watch Tampa live, correct?
Not live, no.
No, those bastards.
Yeah, exactly. So you're on Lady Dominance. Is actually getting some play right now.
Yes, 3 to 1.
Yeah.
7 to 2 now.
4 wins in 33 races. On paper, anyways, this looks like a wide open race. How about the EquinEdge long shot right now? This horse how is this horse 7 to 1? Like, please, tell me. If this horse wins, I won't even believe it. Like,
yeah,
but maybe this horse has a big chance of getting third. I have a feel like it's the EquinEdge long shot for a reason. But it's getting bet, or maybe it's just a bunch of the EquinEdge community going, "I'm not letting the EquinEdge long shot beat me." Could be that.
Right. Yep.
It's just could
right.
Be that.
Exactly.
I don't see it. I don't see that horse. Lady Dominance looks very good. Euros Girl. We've talked about this horse actually dropping in class here. coming in from Finger Lakes, but you're saying that most of the horses that are coming in from Finger Lakes don't really do that well here.
Well, there's not too many trainers are sending their horses from Finger Lakes to Tampa, but Anthony Ferraro now is training down there during the winter. So it's primarily his barn. And Lady Quinn was the first one I saw him having success with. So maybe this horse moving up is going to keep its form.
Yeah. They're almost to the gate. Jen played the pick 4 at Tampa with just the Scotty picks. Let's see here. Euro's Girl, 5%. This is the favorite right now. I will say this. When a horse is the betting favorite and it's not the EquinEdge top win percentage, it only wins like 15% of the time. It doesn't win very often.
Right. And the interesting thing is they're both Anthony Ferraro, the 1 and the 4. And the 4 looked like better form. Now they're about the same. So 3-3.
Yeah.
But there's a pretty good percentage chance here that the winner's going to come either out of the either the Torres or Ferraro barns. They have 4 out of 7 entrants.
Yeah, you know, the more I'm looking at this race, the more I'm liking your 7 horse.
Okay. And I think the 6 has got a shot too at 5-1. That's probably the value in the race right now.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's see what happens here.
All right. Good luck, everybody. I'm probably about 2 minutes behind everybody else.
Well, I'll help you out then.
You want to do a Trevor Denman call
Yep,
for me?
I will.
I just want to hear you at the last stages of racing. But here comes a 7 way on the outside. I think he's going to get there, or she's going to get there. All right. Good luck, everybody.
7 broke very nicely, sitting in 4th place right now. Maybe broke on top. Has a pretty clean trip right now. Is being asked a little bit to keep up, but doesn't really have a lot of speed. 4's on the lead right now, pretty easily.
That makes sense.
And the 5 is sitting in 2nd, but the 4 looks to be running nicely in 22 and 4, so pretty slow pace, not very fast. 5 in 2nd right now. That's 2-1. And the 6 horse Read a Book at 7-2 is sitting in 3rd and seems to be moving pretty nicely. 5's being asked right now to keep up with the 4, who's not been asked yet. Nobody else really closing. Maybe the 1 or the 8 a little bit, but 8's being asked. 6 is coming nicely, but 4 still hasn't been asked. 4-1 on Lady Quinn, who's in the lead around the turn and takes that turn nicely. And slowing up now right now. Strides are shortening up. Trying. Here comes the 8 horse. The 8's going to catch them all. 8, 5, 4, 19-1 on Pure Elegance. Wow. 4.
Wow.
8,
Yeah.
8, wow. 8,
I have
5,
to tell you,
6.
there's some strange results here at Tampa today in some of these tracks. So it's a weird day. I could not possibly come up with that horse.
Well, when you look here, if you look, David, look, the reason I didn't like this horse was that post. But look, I mean, if you see, like the race simulator has this as a double blue. I mean, it's finishing, but maybe that's all you need in a race that looks wide open. You know, in races that look wide open, maybe that's where you should be grabbing horses like this in the race simulator that are closing like that, you know? And by the way, Oakland Park's been on fire, so we should just finish off here.
Okay.
Let's see what Oldie did. See if he has a note on any of these picks. Not that. The EquinEdge long shot, Coach Sam P. I don't know. Oldie, do you have a note on any of this? Yeah, near capper. Doesn't look like Oldie has any notes in this race. Eight, 5, 6. 8, 5, 6. Let's run. They're usually right on top of things here. 1 minute before the race.
I just want to point out too, and not redboarding here, but even if you like this 8-horse, Pure Elegance at Tampa, you realize the jockey going into the race was 0 for 43. The trainer was 0 for 40. So a combination of trainer jock 0 for 83. There's no way I'm ever going to play that horse.
No.
Yeah, that's puzzling.
The 2-horse didn't run a bad race last time out against 9 other horses, considering it shuffled at the 7/16. It was waiting through traffic. It ran a good race. 3rd race off the layoff here. It's stretching out. GSR drops a bit, though. But don't like that. We may be looking at a sprinter, and maybe the conditions. Well, it looks like this horse can get the distance. The 7-horse Crabtree is your lukewarm favorite at 5-2. But I know it's the EquinEdge second pick, and the race simulator likes it. But wow, like it looks on paper, doesn't look so bueno.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
The 3-horse Big Andy Mort. It's another one that's form looks terrible.
Yeah, I can see why Oldie didn't put any notes in this race.
I could see it too.
Claimer. I'd be like, all right, I'm turning the page. Let's go to the 5th race. Oh, we got a maiden 30, a little better. you know, you could use the dart method, right? Or a swag method. Take a sophisticated wild ass guess in this race. It's unbelievable just how contentious and what an inscrutable race this is. My God.
Stop using all these big words.
Oh, sorry.
I have no idea. I honestly don't have a clue in this race. I'd love to play something, but I just don't know. It's way too hard.
I'm going with the 10. Mandatory mission.
Mandatory. You couldn't help yourself.
I don't know.
All right.
I'm sitting at the NHC. Say if this was a mandatory race.
Speed.
There you go. Mandatory mission.
Eric says, take the speed in the 5-horse. But there's a lot of speed in there. Any update on Santa Anita track condition? What do you mean? We're not showing any condition. Is that what you're saying, Bill? 9's got the lead right now. The 11-horse, they're going very fast. So the 9 and 11 are still going, and everyone else is struggling. The 4-horse is closing a bit, but not really. You might not catch this 9-horse. Here comes the 7, but the 7 is going to go about 7 wide. And 9 seems to have a lot of horse. Here comes the 5, not from the lead, but here comes the 5, but it's going to be too late. 9's going to win this race. 9-5-11.
9-5-11. Okay.
Good call, Eric, on the 5-horse.
All right. Good call, Eric.
Yep. Good call. So,
all right.
Santa Anita Park is coming up in about 30 minutes from now. And David, good
Scotty?
stuff.
Yep. Fortunately, we've had a little rough picks today, but we still have 8 qualifiers, so maybe we can reverse our fortunes. But thanks everybody for listening in.
Yeah,
like I said, I have a blast doing the show.
It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough to, because there's been a couple of long shots already.
You got that cap horse that to me looked impossible.
Yeah.
You could always say, well, second off a layoff, he's won before at 7, but it's tough to come up with that horse. But
Yeah.
that's horse racing. Sometimes the results are not logical. So, but with
Yeah.
that being said, good luck this weekend, everybody. Enjoy the weekend.
Yeah.
Happy horse racing. May the horses be with you. And we'll see you next week. We're getting closer and closer to that NHC. So looking forward to it. Scotty, thanks for the opportunity again.
All right. Always a pleasure. Everybody, don't forget the stretch run tomorrow. Also, don't forget to join the coaching classes. They're free to do so. Go to EquinEdge.com, and don't forget to follow us on YouTube as well. You can subscribe to our channel. It's free. Just click the bell, and have a wonderful weekend, and good luck at the races, and we'll see you soon.
Okay. Good to see you.